Welcome back, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans right here on the YouTube and the Twitch and wherever you get your podcast audio worldwide, baby. If it sounds like I'm a little under the weather, it's because I am. This was supposed to happen last night, but because of, we'll just say technical difficulties going on in my little head, it just didn't happen. So we're taking the good old Dayquil and NyQuil and all that good stuff, and we're just going to hammer this out. Figured if it wasn't going to happen tonight, it wasn't going to happen at all. So here we are. Yes, Justin, the lone bone. Yes. I'm hoping we get a couple, at least maybe one other person in here, but we'll see what happens. Kind of a last minute thing I decided to do tonight, but it is what it is. So for those of you that are here tonight, thank you very much. I know Team TNI UK did theirs earlier today, and along with a preview of what's coming in the next 24 hours. Looks very exciting, kind of a turning of the page, if you will. A lot of new stories to be told, along with some new faces as well. But we won't get into that. I know everyone else has been discussing that online. Discuss amongst yourselves. I'm going to save my thoughts on all that for tomorrow night. But as we dive into tonight's stuff, make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. If you'd like to tip one of your favorite podcasts, you can do so on Twitch by cheering bits and subbing. Along with on YouTube, you can use the super chat and or super sticker options. Hope everyone had a good 4th of July weekend. Mine was wet. It was raining here, so I didn't grill. We didn't do any fireworks, nothing. So it was nice and calm and cool and collected. It just I needed that because the week prior, every single night leading up to the 4th had hours of bangs and booms going on. So it was nice to have a quiet night. But hopefully you all stayed safe. No one shot their hands off, using any fireworks or anything. All right. So we are talking about Impact Wrestling's Against All Odds. Was really looking forward to this show. It was quite the different one. Just 2 weeks out from Slammiversary. I've seen some people say that they enjoyed this one more than Slammiversary. But Slammiversary had a really a different vibe to it. It was more built on nostalgia, whereas this one had some nostalgia in it. It wasn't, we had America's Most Wanted in it, which was great, along with some other tag team stuff from the Motor City Machine Guns, which we'll get into all that. But this wasn't necessarily celebrating the 20th anniversary. But I like that they did have a little nostalgia in this one, because I feel like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, that because this is the 20th year, they should have little things like all year long. Like maybe a show or two from now, bring back a couple of knockouts or maybe another tag team. or something, just to focus on a little bit of nostalgia. Because one thing I've said it before, I've said it 100 times, whenever Impact Wrestling brings back veterans, they never stink up the place. It's always fun. And the younger, this generation of wrestling always learns from the elder statesmen, if you will, or the knockouts, if you will. So, so we'll see what they do the rest of the year. But coming out of Slammiversary and this one being so short on notice, this was a lot of fun. Was looking forward to this for a few different reasons, just because there was the big the mystery of Joe Doering being undefeated until now. And I'll give more thoughts on that when we get to that point. Was also really looking forward to the knockouts matches, because the knockouts division has been really changing lately, but I'd say definitely for the better. It always evolves. People come, people go, but Impact always seems to bring in a fresh crop of, great knockouts, some veterans, some newer ones. And then, of course, like I said before, you had a little bit of nostalgia with America's Most Wanted doing, one last round, one more bullet in the chamber, or however you want to say, it was going to be very interesting to see how that match went. So, all right, so let's dive into this. And as I'm going through these matches, make sure you are, just giving me your thoughts, good or bad. It's all subjective. So, RB says, we ever find out what was in the box? I think that was just it was more rhetorical, like you're not really going to find out what was in the box. It was more just diving into the past. Oh, we are being invaded, but not in a bad way, folks. We got Uncle Mark with us.
What's up, man? I'm tired as fuck, but I saw you were solo, and I was like, shit, I better hop in there.
Hey, well, I certainly do appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
No problem. I was like, they're gonna think it's Smash, man.
It's well, typically tonight is a Smash night because I'm doing stuff for AEW, but
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm gonna rewatch most of, Against All Odds, and I really honestly I wasn't really feeling tonight's card for AEW, so I was kind of like, whatever,
Thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm. Yeah, watch out for the Thunderstorm.
Okay, can I real quick, because I'm not on that often. I love that name, but really, you're putting your number one contender against your champion, putting them in a team. Really, you have so little to do with your women's champion that you're putting her in a named tag team. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's switching stuff up, and it gets more women on the card. So yeah, you're gonna have some tag matches here and there.
I mean, they put her in a named tag team. Come on, this is your women's champion who hasn't been on TV like in months. And your way to get her back on TV isn't a tag match.
Thunder Rosa has been, yeah. I mean, her booking hasn't been perfect, but she's been around, yeah.
I just don't like that. This is your women's champion,
somebody backstage probably said, "Oh, Thunder Storm,"
of course,
beer, money, just
beer guns now.
Beer guns, yeah.
Man, beer guns was a fun little blip in the Impact timeline, wasn't it?
It was. It was mixing a little bit of, a couple different pasts of nostalgia, because you were missing one half of each team, but you had the best of what was going for now, so they just put them together, and it worked.
It did. It worked big time. Sorry to get off topic. I just had to.
It's all right.
On that. It's driving me crazy. I love Thunder Rosa. It's just driving me nuts. That Rayne was really, really rough.
I hear you. To each their own. It's all good. Someone's going to counter that and tell you it's the best thing since sliced bread. But we'll continue with this.
All right, where were you? Sorry, I turned it on. I saw you on my phone, and I was like, oh, I better go get on.
I was literally just starting, so I was going to start with the pre-show matches real quick.
Perfect.
First, we had a great Lucha Libre match. And it's not often that we get it's usually someone from the X division and someone more on the Lucha Libre side. It's rarely two of them. So we had Taurus versus Laredo Kid. And just this what's the word I'm looking for?
Sidebar?
Yes, thank you. Sidebar. I'm like side something.
Bomb pop.
My side's killing me. No. Sidebar. The match that just got announced for Ric Flair's. No, not the roast. His last match ever.
Yeah.
They keep announcing matches for it. I tell you, man, the card. The card on this event is sick, dude.
It's fucking amazing. If I wasn't so against contributing to the death of Ric Flair, I would absolutely put together a watch along for this. It's a great card.
We're getting invaded again. Well, hello.
It's an Oreo.
Come on in and say hi to the group. This is Cassandra.
Hello. Hi, Cassandra. Hello. The group. Just me.
What's up?
Leaving at 3.
3?
3.
As an AM?
AM.
Is that a real time? That's not even a real time, is it?
Yeah, that is. Thank you for the great news.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Mom bought a 12-pack of donuts for you.
Get out of here.
Hell yeah, 12-pack. So I just went to the grocery store because my wife was fiending for chocolate cake, and I almost bought donuts myself, but I ended up with ice cream instead. Cherry chocolate chunk. Fuck yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
No, I'm about to tear that shit up afterwards.
All right, so yeah, Cassie's going out of town.
Where's she going?
Texas.
Oh, boo. Whack.
She's got some friends down there. And we're taking her, we're driving her to Chicago O'Hare.
Okay. Gotcha.
She's
flying right now.
Yeah, so we're leaving here at 3 a.m. Woo! So I'll be getting a few Z's right after this. So we're gonna keep this going.
All right, let's do it. We'll keep it brief.
Son of a God. All right.
So I can help you out with Taurus, Laredo Kid. I actually missed this match, but I do want to go back and watch it because I love both these guys.
Oh, so you have to. If you love Lucha Libre, you have to. And it doesn't matter who you like more than the other. It was a great way to kick off this show.
Yeah, that's a fantastic, hot first match.
It really was. There was one moment during this match I literally thought, when you think of Taurus, you think of the Bull, and I haven't really seen a lot of his matches lately, but you think of him, he's a girthy guy. He's a bigger guy than some of the other Lucha Libre guys. It's all about the girth, right? There's just some sick people out there thinking about me saying the word girth. Anyways, so you're thinking about him, spearing someone or getting the bull by the horns or whatever. Dude, he literally dives straight on to Laredo Kid and hits him in the upper, somewhere upper body. It was like a spear, but it was more head on, and Laredo Kid just crumbled underneath him. It was, oh my God. When you see it, when you watch this match, you're going to be like, oh my God.
I'll go back and pay more attention. I actually had it on but we were doing dinner stuff, and so like it was on the computer on the table, and like I didn't really catch it. I should go back and absolutely give it some real attention.
It was fun. It was a
And-
great way to kick off this show.
And I'd like to see either one of these guys get a fucking win, for Christ's sake. So that's great. Like,
Well,
I love both these guys, but they don't win a lot.
Laredo Kid gets his, and Decay
Taurus.
gets his. So Taurus,
Taurus has had a rough run here.
well, he's missed a few tapings too.
That's
So
yeah.
You know, he hasn't been around enough to like feature that consistently.
Yeah.
But so the Decay's had a great run since they've been on the road again, but it's been inconsistent. We'll just put it that way.
I think it's time. I mean, I love Decay. We all do, but I think it's time to break it apart temporarily again. I would love to see Taurus featured like on a singles run. He's fantastic. I know he doesn't speak. You could find him in manager really easily. I would like to see Taurus on his own. I feel like by being part of Decay, he's been held to the bottom of the card because they're basically a jobber faction at this point.
Well, it's just a weird phase. They're not super like. I mean, if anything, on the women's side of it, they've been successful, or at least they've had tag team.
Well, but Rosemary has gold as Ragnarok, not even Decay at the moment.
Right.
So, you know.
So at this point, it's best, depending on how long Steve and Taurus are sticking around, it's best to feature them as a tag team by themselves, in my opinion.
You think they're better as a tag team, you mean?
Oh, sure. Because yeah. I mean, they're great individually. Don't get me wrong. Steve's amazing. He's so underrated. And especially for his handicap, it's unbelievable. But
absolutely.
But I'd love to see more tag team stuff from them. You know, for a title or not, you know, it just would be fun. So
they just need to get some more wins. If not, they need to do something different with Decay. It's just getting kind of stale, and that's not even a slight. You know, that just happens with wrestling, right? It's cyclical. Stuff gets tired, and then you got to refresh it, and
it's got to evolve.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Because then it keeps it fresh. So yeah. But Taurus gets a great win here. Great match. And then the next match is fun, but I really wasn't paying that much attention to it. It was Rich Swann defending his DMC, you know.
Yeah, I had the same issue.
Title.
The pre-show, I didn't fully watch much of anything on it. So I caught some of this. I saw who won. I saw a little bit of the match, but not enough to probably give you a good opinion on it.
Yeah. And he went against Brian Myers, and of course Brian Myers wanted to get it back, even though he never really had it in the first place. So
I'm glad that's resolved. I love this shit out of Rich Swann. He really brought the Impact World Heavyweight title back to a type of prominence after some lesser runs and some issues with the belt that were behind the scenes and, you know, public, like with Tessa and stuff. But I really don't like Rich Swann in the DMC picture just because we all know, and yes, they leaned into it and made a joke out of it. He's not even on social media. Like, I would prefer they don't do that again, and you try and keep that focus to people like Zicky Dice and Matt Cardona and Jordan Grace. Like, they've done a real good job with it so far. In my opinion, Rich was a misstep. I love Rich Swann. Love Rich Swann.
Same here, sure.
Just this is not the right spot for him.
He's a former world champ.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's all about having fun and just making the best out of whatever is being thrown his way. And that's what we have here. So, yeah, absolutely. Coach Keith, he says he's the GOAT. He's definitely one of the top guys on the roster right now. He may not be a top guy, but we still love him just as much, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Brian Myers beats him here and was a little shocking. Not that I was putting a lot of weight on this match, but Brian Myers does have it. So someone who has the weight of the what do you call him? His Cardona group. What do they call him?
Oh,
Major
Bros.
The Major Bros.
Major Bros. Actually, yeah, he does, because you don't have anyone else around even from Major Bros right now at the moment in the company. So it's all Myers. No VSK, right? No, well, who else has been there?
Well, Chelsea Green's there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She is there.
Yeah, Mrs. Cardona.
Will she be around that much without Matt, though? I know she came into the picture here real quickly, but I wonder what they'll end up doing. She's going to be busy.
Oh, Major. Okay,
VSK.
yeah, here it is in the chat. Major players. Thanks,
Major
guys.
players,
Major.
there
I
you
knew
go.
it was Major something.
Something
Major,
or another.
Major headache. Don't know. But yeah. So Brian Myers. I didn't want to spend too much time on this.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Brian, I'm actually have become a really big fan of Brian Myers since he's come to Impact Wrestling. So it's like, yeah, keep it on him for a while. Give him something. I want to see him stick around, especially if Cardona is not there. You want to keep that major player present. So.
And they also have like Mark Sterling and Swoggle. They've got a lot that comes with them. They're great for the company. I'm a big Myers fan too. I think you should absolutely keep him in the spotlight, particularly while Cardona's out. Both those guys are great. The whole squad is great. I love them. I know Chelsea isn't, like Trent was saying in our group chat earlier, that Chelsea hasn't improved in the ring. She's not great in the ring, but Chelsea's value isn't really in the ring.
She's
okay.
a great character, and I think she is better in a tag team, honestly.
Yeah, I do too. Well, and let's face it, like, it takes all kinds, and let's be honest, we know that attractive women look good on the roster, and Chelsea's, there's nothing wrong with, her being on the roster, in part because she's beautiful. She's great on the outside. She's good on a mic. She's got a good character. Yes, her ring work is but not everyone can be Deonna in the ring. So,
but that's the great thing about the Knockouts division is everyone's different. No one's alike.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's no copycats in there. So
yeah, absolutely. I agree. The variety on the Knockouts roster is incredible. And that's why I like Chelsea. I think she fits that bill. She fills a role that other people don't. And since I have been dogging her ring work, I will say this, though. She's got a huge heart. She's never afraid to take a spot. Like, she goes 110% all the time, and I can appreciate that.
Oh my God, they keep replaying that spot that her and Deonna Purrazzo, were on the top of the ladder in the middle of the ring, and then went through the tables on the outside. My God, that was spot of the night.
Yeah, it probably was. The two of them holding hands was what made it spot of the night.
Oh yeah, they were starting to like scramble a little bit, like, oh crap, here we go. It's
and then they're holding hands at the bottom. Their left and right hands are together. I thought that was super sweet. Just a nice moment. It's cool to see real life friends find success together.
And in that case, a giant downfall together.
Story. Jeez, usually you're the positive one. What the heck, J-Bo?
We are. No, that's just a little rib on them. It's like, you get the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. We'll get into them in a little bit. All right, so we start out the main show here with the Bullet Club being represented Ace Austin and
It's been a bangorama.
Oh, let me tell you, this whole show was a bangorama.
It was.
Versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Still got a bit of nostalgia coming out of Slammiversary. You got some, pardon the term, but young bucks versus the old guard in this one. What did you think?
I hope that the Motor City Machine Guns are a semi-permanent fixture for the moment. I know it's always going to be come and go with them. But if they can go to BFG as the Machine Guns, I'd really like that. I'm excited about this because the tag division has been very refreshed since the Guns were around in 2020 when they first came back. They came back and they faced the Rascals and Reno Scum and Triple XL, and like all those teams are gone, right? So we have a fresh crop. This match, like Bay and Ace, I mean, obviously these two guys are never a bad match. Both of them are future of the company if they stay. One of them I think is going to stay, and one of them I'm a little worried about right now. I don't even remember who won this match. Who the hell won this match? Bullet Club won, right?
No.
Oh,
No,
Machine Guns won? Okay.
Motor City Machine Guns won this one. Yeah.
Did Bay take the pin? I don't remember.
I don't remember who took the pin, but I look at it this way: as excited as I am, and there's a few from our crew that have said how excited they are to see Ace Austin and Chris Bay together as a tag team, along with you got the other side of the coin of the Bullet Club featuring the Good Brothers, and then you got the others that come and go like Jay White, Hikuleo, El Phantasmo, that they come in and out depending on what's going on. Now they're back in Japan now, I believe, after the Forbidden Door.
I think that's correct.
So, but I'm sure they'll be back. It's there's still a strong presence of the Bullet Club in Impact Wrestling, so I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Critical Sting says it was Bay that took the pin. That's why I'm worried. Bay's been taking a lot of pins. Hasn't really had a prominent spot.
I try not to think.
I
about
know.
it too much.
I try not to, but I'm really worried about that one because I think that as much as Josh, Ace, Deonna, I think Bay's one of those guys. I think he's one of the ones you go out of your way to keep, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
I hope that happens.
He's absolutely the future of the company. He's definitely someone that you want to treat like they've been treating Ace Austin, like an anchor, especially in the X division. Now this match was really good. It was also really interesting to see how much chemistry there was going to be between Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, well now they're in the same club. They're in, so it's like, well, so obviously at some point they are going to be made a tag team. And as you saw in this match, they did have some hiccups. Like they had some great chemistry right off the bat against the Motor City Machine Guns, but there were times where their flaws did come to the surface and they did have hiccups during the match, which did eventually cause their loss. So does that mean it's like a one and done? No, I really do think these two are going to stick together through thick and thin. And I think they will, maybe get a chance at least at the tag title someday. Not necessarily at the their compadres, their comrades,
which is a weird situation, right? Good Brothers are kind of babyface right now, and then Bay and Ace are heels, and they're all Bullet Club.
I saw someone, and I don't remember who said it a little bit ago in the chat, saying that they're confused about are Good Brothers heel or face or blah 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 blah. I mean,
they're face now because of that whole thing with AMW, right? I mean, that's a straight up babyface.
You can say they are, but right up until that point, they were heels because they were against the Briscoes, and the Briscoes are very babyface-ish. So I always look at Bullet Club like they've got a persona very similar to like a Stone Cold Steve Austin. Mm-hmm. Where you can be badass and still be real popular.
Right, like a tweener.
Right. Like a Bray Wyatt,
Yeah. That's a good example. That's a good example.
But also, can be very heelish.
And sometimes that makes it tough to book too, because like with the Fiend, right? They just didn't know what the fuck to do, heel or face. And sometimes you get stuck with that. So maybe that's kind of just what I'm seeing too with the Good Brothers right now. And it could have been a temporary thing too for the AMW.
Right.
Send off. Like that makes sense.
So the Briscoes aren't around. They wanted to put, and we'll get into this more when we get to that match, but I see what they were doing because you had an absolutely legendary tag team like AMW, America's Most Wanted. But, Storm and Chris Harris hadn't been in the ring together in, what did they say, in like over 10 years?
Yeah, but I know that they have been done at least one indie show together. maybe as like a trial run. At least
Yeah,
one,
but
maybe
like
two.
in the thing of like being on TV together and everything, it's like it hasn't happened. So so in order to keep them looking strong and take a little bit of the focus off of them, you put them in a multi-man match.
Oh yeah,
put them in an 8-man tag or whatever, a 10-man tag.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit of the focus off of Chris Harris because, you know, he's going to be a little rusty, but he did what he did in the match and it was fine. And boy, I know we're getting way off track, but
real quick, you mentioned the Briscoes. I just want to say we did touch on the Ric Flair final match, that card. Briscoes versus the Von Erichs. Holy shit. That card is just too sweet, man.
Oh, did they just announce that?
They announced that tonight. Briscoes Von Erichs.
Oh,
yeah, this card is insane good. So good.
Well, Von Erich's first match back in the States was in Milwaukee, so that's tremendous.
I'm excited. I will forever be a Von Erichs fan, obviously. So I really want to see this match. But that show looks fantastic.
Oh, I can't even call it an undercard. It's just, you know.
That every single match is incredible. And they've got like AAA putting on a match. Impact's doing a couple of matches, several matches.
Right. Now you got representation from MLW.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's great. There's no complaining there. Yeah.
No, it's going to be a cool show. I can't, man. Ric Flair's going to it's not going to be good, man.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I still think it's going to be Sting, but we'll see.
I just don't feel good about Ric Flair doing this match. I know it's not like I'm not a doctor or whatever, but come on, man. Like, at what point is enough? You know?
Yeah.
I don't want to see Ric Flair die in a wrestling ring. Like, I don't like the man, but I don't want to see him die in a ring.
You're preaching to the choir, bro. I hear you, man. I feel you. All right, well, let's continue with this. So, so Motor City Machine Guns get the big win here to kick off the main card. We'll see how Ace and Chris Bay line up together in the future. All right, so then we got Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo versus Mia Yim and Mickie James. One quick thing I gotta mention about the entrances were a lot of fun here. They actually did some mashups here between the hardcore country and the I don't know what you call Mia Yim. More
head baddie in charge.
her
hardcore baddies.
Yeah, it was kind of. Well, I'm just saying, like it was like a remix. The remix.
It was totally a mashup. I thought it was really good. I was surprised. Like, it was kind of a bop. They should keep that for them. I liked it a lot. Like, I hate when they do like Taya and Rosemary, right? They come out separate with their own music because they're both like theoretically big stars in the company. Yeah. But man, having that blended music for Mia and Mickie was sweet. Like, well, absolutely keep that.
They did the same for Chelsea and Deonna too.
Did they blend theirs too?
Yeah, they did. I think
I didn't notice theirs as much.
I'd have to go back, but I'm pretty sure they did. It just wasn't as cool as the hardcore country because everybody gets excited with the hardcore country, but then this one, it was a hardcore. What? You know, it was great. It wasn't exactly like that, but you okay, Mark? Come up for air now.
Wiki. The VXT gear was the show stealer for them on their entrance. I thought Chelsea looked fucking awesome as shit in the black.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, that was they definitely looked great together. And then you had the country on the other side. That was a lot of fun. What'd you think of this match overall?
Match. I like all of these women. I hope that this means Mickie is going into the tag division, because talk about bolstering your tag division with like a legit name that could come in and work this. I also like them putting Mia here because I like Mia Yim. You and I both watched Black and Gold NXT. Mia Yim grew so much in Black and Gold. She was fantastic, but I think you'll agree she looks rusty still. She looks a little rusty to me. So
I don't think it's rusty. I think a lot of it, honestly, like if you listen to her interviews, I think a lot of it is self-confidence. I think a lot of it is self-confidence. Like because when as soon as she came back, they threw her into that Queen of the Mountain match. And she was like, you don't have to give this to, she was real taken back, like, oh, I don't have to do this right away. Like she wanted to legit, like, work her way into the division and all that. And so I think part of it is just getting her confidence back because that other company really messed her up in the head.
Well, whether it's confidence or rust, though, I like that they're putting her into a tag team. It just feels right at the moment. I don't want to see her pushed to the top of the card. Like the Queen of the Mountain is one thing because you can hide in that match and you can do a number of things to keep everybody strong. But the tag division could use some teams anyways. We've all known that for a while. And now they really have some momentum with the women's tag division. Both of these teams, all four ladies in this match, VXT and Hardcore Baddies or whatever you're going to call it, these are two almost immediately legitimate teams, particularly VXT, because we know them from Black and Gold NXT as well. But also, we just know they're both established in the company, and they almost don't need what Madison and Tenille needed, which was for the inspiration to kind of come in and help get them established, right? VXT, we just accept that they're an established tag team. It just seems so.
Right. But I haven't I've noticed that the fans have called them that, and I think they themselves have called it that, being put together. But I haven't heard them being announced yet. No. So we'll see if they do it. But it's a throwback to when they were in NXT together. Yeah.
It's like Ragnarok, right? They never really say it too much on commentary or never when they're doing ring announcing.
Well, Taya said it on TV. It was their first promo after they won the title.
Well, and Hannafin will too. He said it before on commentary, but not a lot. And they don't, when they announce them, again, they have separate entrances. They announce them as Ty, Valkyrie, and Rosemary, not Ragnarok. They
should come up with something, but they got to be careful with that.
Why?
Because that's a Marvel entity.
Oh, dude, Ragnarok is an old Norse legend. It's mythical. It's a religious.
Well, I'm just saying.
Marvel
I don't know if they have.
They don't. There's comic books named Ragnarok by Dark Horse that are published outside of Marvel by a whole different company. Okay. Yeah, Walt Simonson does Ragnarok. It's a free use word.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they need to get on that because it's a dope word too, and they could make some badass merch around the Ragnarok stuff.
They could, similar to Decay but different.
Yeah. A lot of potential there. Although we know the merch will just say Ragnarok on the shirt and letters, and that'll be it. But could be cool.
There you go. But yeah, this match was fun. So Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo get the win here, and man, that whatever finisher I don't know if they're gonna call it anything. It's supposed to be like a double team move, which is always great if you got a tag team, working together. But in the words of JR, man, that finisher was bowling shoe ugly. It was,
it needs work.
It was effective, but it was ugly because at the end, they had they had I don't even remember who was rolled up, but they had her rolled up.
I think it was Mickie.
Mickie was kind of half covered up, half rolled up. It was
no, they definitely need a little bit of work on that finisher.
So, but it'll come together when you've got a technician like Deonna Purrazzo working with someone like Chelsea Green. It'll all get worked out. I have no worries.
I have no worries about the tag division with the teams they've currently got together because there's so much of a veteran presence on that side of the roster. That I feel like it's fine. In the tag division in particular, like I said, you add Mickie back into that, Rosemary, Taya, Madison. You're talking about a lot of experience right now. So it'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. So next we got the X Division title being defended. Speedball Mike Bailey versus he was part Venom, part Spider-Man tonight.
That shit was sweet.
Trey Miguel. Oh man, and I've heard several people say it, so I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in here real quick. This was definitely one of my top 2 matches of the night.
I think this is a match of the year contender. This was absolutely my match of the night.
I've heard some people say that. The story they told in the ring was amazing.
I mean, if you go back and look at the chat, it was blowing. I was losing my shit. This match was crazy good. I mean, you guys know I'm a massive fucking Trey fan. And then, of course, we all love Speedball. He's got to be one of the top wrestlers on the planet right now. And we knew these guys. Okay, we just saw Trey and Ace like a couple weeks ago, and it blew my mind. And I was like, oh my God, this is like match of the year shit. Dude, this match makes that match look like a warm-up. I mean, the speed of this match. Both of these guys.
And the story they told where they were, I mean, when you've got X Division guys using limb work as part of their psychology in the ring, it's they just tear each other up. And it was like all on like the lower part of the body. It was all legs.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna
which came into play later.
I'm gonna kick your leg out from your leg. Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna kick your leg out from your leg. And it was just this back and forth of one-upmanship and selling and
the chat is like in full agreement that this was just an unbelievable match. I think you could do this a million times and we'd never get tired of it. Like all that limb work, which then came into play later because Bayley couldn't deliver his finisher, the Ultimate Weapon. So JPF some numbers in the Discord shout out in the middle of this match. I was like, dude, he's not, he's hurt. And we were talking about how what's he gonna do for finisher? JPF calls a fucking one-winged angel. And we're laughing. Bayley doing the one-winged angel. Motherfucker, I'll be goddamned if Mike Bayley didn't finish this match with a one-winged angel.
Well, they called it, and it was something.
It was a one-winged angel. It's a one-winged angel.
Well, they called it a flamingo driver.
Yeah. Something different.
Which it looks very similar to a one-winged.
It is a one-winged angel.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely a one-winged angel. Like
I'd have to go back and look exactly how he did it, but
I can't even tell you how loud the pop out of me was for that. I almost fucking died when Bayley delivered that. Nobody uses that move. Only the man uses that move. The best motherfucking bout machine. The one real wrestling god uses that move. Like I love Mike Bayley. He can use it all day.
But here's a funny little thing. It's from a fellow, you never see it done from anyone. And the one person that did it was a fellow Canadian.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. So it was probably a little shout out to a fellow Canadian. And I tell you, and I've said this before, and tonight watching this match, perfect example. I'm like, how many times have we seen Speedball Mike Bayley? Now, some of the stuff we've seen him use. We're starting to get used to a couple of his signature moves. It's like, he used this again, he used that again. Not taking anything away from it. It looks amazing. But this finisher, I've never seen him use this before. Maybe he used it on the indies up in Canada, like while he was biding his time to get back in the U.S. But oh my God, he just, he pulled this out of nowhere, which was a perfect finish to the story because, like you said, he couldn't do his regular finisher.
It's awesome. This match was like just constant chub. Like this was seriously probably going to be one of my matches of the year, if not match of the year. I don't even know what more we can say about it. The way that Bayley has come up with variations of the Ultimate Weapon too is so fucking badass. Like he did it off the Ultimate X. We've seen it off a ladder. He does it standing. He does it in a moonsault. He does it from the second rope. Mike Bayley is like, his gimmick needs some polish because it doesn't quite match his ring work, in my opinion. I love the song, but it's a little bit too mellow for the whole thing, I think. But
it's kind of ominous, but yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit. I like it. It's cool, actually. It just doesn't fit, I don't think. But
Yeah.
all that aside, Mike Bailey is, man, he's one of those guys that we heard about and heard about and heard about. But no amount of hype could have possibly prepared you for how fucking good Mike Bailey is.
Yeah.
He's so different, so unique, so exciting. Every time he's in the ring, it feels fresh. Yes, he has moves, he does, but the sequences are different, the deliveries are different, the match layouts are different. This dude is incredible. I was rooting for Trey, but there were no losers here. Nobody lost in this match.
No, and the only thing that I honestly want to see come out of this is I love this little evolution of Trey Miguel that he's doing kind of the Spider Trey stuff, but now he's been incorporating some stuff that's a little, I'll call it menacing, you know, kind of like, you know, it's like someone's like, oh, someone might be a bad guy in the comics, but you can't really tell, but because he does some things that are a little questionable. I want to see him eventually like turn, like, you know, like his gear, all of a sudden he's going to show up at tapings and his gear is going to be like 10% red, 90% black.
Yeah. Well, it already kind of looks like the venomization is gradual.
Yeah, so like he had one leg Spidey, one leg Venom.
Yeah, and then one half tongue, and then like he's got the contacts that I think they've gotten darker. I think it started with a light pair and now it's darker, but I may be mistaken. But either way, Trey's gear game has always been legit as fuck, but it's like super hyped and stepped up ever since he came back and found like the Spider Trey thing after the initial blonde hair thing, which I didn't like that look at all, but I was just happy Trey was back. But this, I know some people are like,
he was trying to find himself. I
think,
a little bit.
Yeah. There was a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning, but it didn't matter because him coming back was enough momentum to carry him with the fans. But shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, that's it. I don't remember what I was saying. So
it's okay.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Trey's our guy. We fucking love Trey.
Definitely match of the night candidate here.
I'm curious to see what your other match that's even close to this one was, because it was a great card, but this match was
just wait.
That was a really good match.
For those on audio, didn't see what I just did, but we'll get there. But yeah, amazing X Division title match. Mike Bailey wins with a flamingo driver. Never seen it before.
One winged angel for those of you on audio.
Yeah,
it's a one winged angel.
Flamingo
driver. It's a motherfucking one winged angel. Don't call it a fucking flamingo driver again. I fucking dare you. It's a one-winged angel.
Tom Hannafin called it that. I can't.
Fuck Tom Hannafin. Fuck Tom Hannafin. It's a one-winged angel. There's only one man that can do that move.
But Tom Hannafin is awesome.
He is really awesome. God, Tom Hannafin. He's the best commentator we've seen since Tenille and West. And it ain't, I mean, it's not even a debate anymore. Like, I love the Pope and some other people that have come through, but shit. Hannafin is pro.
That was a major upgrade there.
Oh, I love you too, Anna. I don't know why you love me, but I love you too. Oh, because I'm defending Kenny's move.
Right. He's
got to protect the one-wing angel. I think
is so definite in his beliefs on that. Yeah, right. So
hey, Hakeem, you can shut the fuck up too. It's a fucking one-winged angel. Everybody knows this. Fuck are you people? What the hell is this place? The hell? This is why I never come here anymore.
We need like a video of a flamingo getting all angry now. I'm going, caw, caw, you know.
I'm watching Arrested Development again with my daughter. It's fucking cracking me up. Caw, caw. Oh, well, thank you, Anna. I love to rant.
There's healthy rants.
You're damn right, Justin. I will always defend the motherfucking GOAT. Kenny Omega for life. Former Impact World Champion.
All right, so now we got the Knockouts World Tag Team titles on the line. The Influence featuring a new member, Gisele Shaw, with Tenille Dashwood sporting a new haircut, versus the defenders of their titles. We got Ragnarok, Taya, Valkyrie, and Rosemary.
Like, for reals.
For reals is
Oh,
right. This was a lot of fun. I know Gisele Shaw has gotten some social media presence lately with the whole
She basically came out as post-transitional right?
transgender, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And props again to her for her doing that.
Props
And
to the wrestling community too. I saw nothing but positive. There may have been some negative in there, but I just saw positive. So shout out to everybody in the Impact and Wrestling community for their support. That can't be easy.
Yeah, it's been a lot of love her direction,
Yeah.
and there's a dose of bravery that comes along with that, you know, and
A
you need that support.
a huge dose. Yeah,
Yeah.
more than I would have. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but Gisele Shaw really shined here. I gotta say, her and Tenille Dashwood definitely looked like they worked well together. They didn't get the job done. But the match was a lot of fun. What'd you think?
So sorry, I just saw Basil in here. What's up, Basil? We don't see a wild Basil too often anymore.
Basil, what's shaking, man?
I think Gisele works really well in tags. She was fantastic with Lady Frost. She did a great job with Lish, and I thought she was good here with Tenille. This is definitely the right spot. I'm guessing that's why they made this call. Tenille being in the match makes sense because Madison is currently injured, but I have a feeling that putting a third person in here is going to. We all know Tenille has like a big career outside of wrestling, doing like influencer shit or whatever that means, like for real. Like even though she is a real influencer for travel, I think. Travel blog or something.
She travels the world and looks hot.
Yeah. So she's got the travel the world and look hot job that cuts into her time. So if you have three, like a Freebird type situation for the influence, that can only be good for everyone. Plus, it keeps part of the draw to Impact, as we know, for performers is the flexibility. And this is just another great example of, an easy way to accommodate that. I like this a lot. I also like the way the match went. I think the right people won. It would have been crazy to go the other way.
Right. Yeah. We got to keep Ragnarok going in this direction. And we're obviously, there's going to be 2 knockouts tag teams that are going to be, coming up together at the same time. And when they knock heads somewhere down the road, it's going to be big. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I wonder how long Madison's going to be out. I mean, I know her injury was fairly severe, right? Even though she's out there, she didn't get involved. No, I guess she did. Is it just a broken nose, or is there more to it?
No, it's like, Raywald was funny because he actually gave like the full 10-word term. It's like a double nasal cavity labrum fracture thingy. It was, he just listed the whole thing and was like, oh my God, did her skull split too? It's like, damn.
She is little. That was a pretty rough hit too when they ran into each other. It looked pretty ugly.
So, but yeah, Ragnarok retained here. And Basil here says TLDR broke nose. Okay.
It just looked like normally it looks bad, but man, I feel like on Madison's face, it looked like she was just jacked up.
But the great part of being a woman is you can take some of those bruises that go up around the eyes and, across the upper cheekbones, and you can cover them up with some makeup, and she still looks fabulous.
Yeah.
And with a sparkly mask to go along with it. So
is this true, Critical Sting? Hold on. Critical Sting says Madison is the true last graduate of the Heart Dungeon. What? She'll come back stronger. What? Is that true?
Oh, that might be true. Yeah, that
really?
That might be true, yeah.
I never knew that.
I always thought it was Tyson, but not the boxer Tyson.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I came out of the dungeon. Oh,
nice. Takib says Tenille's going to be pulling a disappearing act because Masha's going to kill her. That's probably the truth. So that brings us to our post match. So
I forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So as the influence is leaving the arena after their loss, they're at the top of the ramp, and Masha's music hits, and you see the badass video, and Masha comes out, and she just kind of sneers or does her smile thing. it gives I guess it's supposed to be a contract for the match or whatever to Tenille. So now we know that Masha's next victim.
No, it's an envelope.
Or envelope.
And she opens it up, and it's a picture of. She hands Tenille a picture of herself, and it's like crossed out in blue.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, like she had in the back before the other. Okay.
Yeah.
So we know Tenille's next though for Masha, which will be. I'm still curious around Masha because I expected her match with Havoc to be more significant. It was a squash, and we haven't seen Havoc since, which I was shocked by. I was not expecting that. So we'll see if Tenille puts up a better fight.
Well, what was even more interesting was the response of Decay to the loss.
I don't think I even noticed what was going on. I might have missed this.
When Havoc was down, everyone was like standing over her, and they had more of a look of, and you effed up, you know.
Mm-hmm. I must have missed that.
As opposed to oh, you know, we hope you're okay. Can we get some help here? And blah, 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 blah. No, just Rosemary had this look like, we're done with you. But then, you know, she was talking to, oh, thank you, Anna, for the super sticker. It is what the hell is that? It's like a dancing plum with boxing gloves.
Oh yeah, I can't see it because I'm in StreamYard. I got to look at the YouTube.
I've got a side tab on my other computer open, and it's a marching plum with boxing gloves.
Ooh man, plums are in season right now. I've been eating the shit out of some plums. Thank you, Anna. By the way, do you like plums? Does everybody like plums? Plums are fucking amazing.
They gotta be like really ripe.
The window is like tiny for plums between too bitter and too mealy. But when they're good, oh man, a plum is just like shit. Yeah. All right. Enough about plums, J-Bone. Jesus Christ. Jay.
Yeah. But thank you for the super sticker, Anna. Much love. Thank you. So yeah, Ragnarok wins. Tenille's about to get clobbered sometime in the soon and near future by Masha Slamovich. And yeah, I can't wait. The whole division is really evolving together now in all different directions. Does that make any sense? You know what I mean?
It's the women's side of the company, tag division included, for the first time since it's been revived, is in a real good, strong position across the board. Bottom of the card, top of the card, tags, singles. Yeah, no, the knockouts are just having their way with the company right now. You know, they've got a challenge coming from the X division though, which is also badass. Oh,
speaking of challenged, Anna was challenging me, and I obviously lost it. She said, "No, it's pom poms. It's like a marching plum with pom poms."
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because it's going like this.
Oh, Heath. Coach Keith says plums make me shit. That's unfortunate, Coach. Most of the rest of the chat likes plums. Though.
It just means you're eating too many, you know.
Yeah, don't eat like all the plums. You just need
don't eat the whole damn tree, right?
Yeah, Critical Sting. How many storylines are going in the KO division? So many, I can't even keep up. You got Undead Realm stuff filtering underneath. You've got Sue's inevitable return. You've got Ragnarok taking over the tag division. You've got the formation of 3 or 4 new teams. You've got the influence turning into a Freebird situation, maybe. Shit, that's not even including the singles division. You've got Masha, who isn't even interacting with the roster that much yet, doing her own thing. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how good the women's division is. It's
super. Especially all the fresh tag teams that are going on. And I don't care if they're just thrown together. Sometimes it just works, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you had 3 out of matches on the card that were knockouts, and you could have easily filled it with another 5. It's so solid right now.
Yeah. So, all right. So next we got I didn't pay attention to a lot of the backstage segments because a lot of them were just prep for their upcoming match, but this one was post-match. So Gia Miller was talking to Speedball Mike Bailey and basically saying he's got an open challenge this Thursday. He wants fresh faces to come in and challenge for it, which we're going to see that tomorrow night. Alan Angel's former Dark Order AEW guy jumping these crossing the line, if you will. Now I'm not going to assume that he's a part of the roster, a new signing.
I don't think so either.
He was available. This was like the day after he was available, and so it was like, hey, it's just exciting to see him refocus his career in Impact's direction. So I can't, win or lose, I'm not assuming he's getting a win here, but I'm excited to see him.
Absolutely. I'm not like a huge fan. He's relatively new in the business, but I was watching AEW since the beginning. If you are not familiar with Alan Angels, go back to the early days of AEW Dark and search for Alan Angels versus Kenny Omega. They had a 15-minute match. He was the so-called jobber, right, that Kenny had a 15-minute match with.
Yeah.
Fantastic match on Dark that's free on YouTube. It's been carved out into its own video. Just do a search for Kenny versus Angels, and that'll give you just some insight to what we're going to see tomorrow. That should be a killer match.
Basil says he's very young. He's only 24. Very
talented. I knew he was real young into the business. Like, you could tell that he's not a ton of experience, but he's very good.
Well, he was one of the first guys that showed up in Cody and oh God, I'm just brain farting all over the place tonight. It stinks in here. Cody's Gold Dust. Damn it! What the hell is his name?
Dustin. Right.
Dustin. Thank you. Jiminy Christmas. It stinks in this office. I'm just brain farting so much. Cody and Dustin's school that they opened up when AEW got started. He was Alan Angels was a part of that with 10 Preston Vance or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah,
they were in there. Not that that's when they started, but yeah.
So are they still at AEW under different contracts as like for the Dark Order? Is the Dark Order still?
Dark Order is still a thing, yeah.
Because I saw that Evil Uno's taken independent bookings, and I noticed that he pulled the AEW stuff off his profile. I don't know if he's there or not anymore, but
he's probably on a per appearance contract now. Whereas I think a lot of them are going to be, if they're not going to be on just a regular, like a lot of them, they came in, boom, 3-year deal right off the bat. So many of them.
Yeah.
And this is the time of year this summer.
Running out. Yeah.
It was all prior to when Dynamite started that the contracts are going to be changing and or expiring. So yeah. So Alan Angels is got a whole new future ahead of him, And
so he's gone from AEW then completely.
I don't think he's completely gone. Like he may, like I can see him coming back. But we'll see.
Okay.
Oh, and we
have a third.
We've got a rare appearance. Rare appearance.
What is up?
I figured he was alone. That's why I jumped in.
I turned it on and he was alone, and I was like, I was about to go to bed, and I was like, fuck, I'll go hop in.
Poor guy.
I should tag out now.
No, stay.
We'll finish. Let's go.
I'm still watching the main event. I got literally going right here.
That's all right. Let's talk about the other matches.
Well, that's a slow match. We're jumping on the second half of the card here. So
I just want to talk about AMW. That's all. That's the only reason I'm here. Let's talk about AMW. That's it. That's the only reason I came in, Jay. I'm just here to talk about AMW.
Well, we're almost there. So
you go on until you get to AMW, and then I can talk.
Well, we're. Oh, well, yeah, we are there.
Trent's not here to pitch in for the TNI crew anymore. He's just here to talk about AMW. Fuck you guys. I'm only here for AMW.
I do, Trent. I'm glad you did pop in for this, because I know America's Most Wanted is one of your favorite all-time tag teams, if not your favorite. It is my
all-time. Yeah.
Your all-time. Your all-time favorite. And we are at that point of the card now where we got Honor No More represented by Taven, Bennett, Eddie Edwards, Kenny King, and PCO. Vincent and Maria Kanellis are at ringside, and we'll get to that in a bit because there's a very funny segment involving one of our other crew members
Oh
and
yeah,
then
Bill got some camera time on this. I saw.
he did.
did.
It's
Yeah, he
you
did.
blink, you miss it, but it's hilarious. We'll get to it. Hang on. And then we got the Good Brothers, Heath, and America's Most Wanted on the other side. So, all right. So before the match even starts, James is out there with a beer, and
Yeah.
he sprays the crowd or he dumps it on Maria. I didn't see exactly what happened,
Yeah,
but she's upset. She's got it all over her head. She's on the camera side of the ring. She walks up to Bill, grabs his like jacket or vest or whatever he's got on, and like rubs her hair with it, trying to like get the beer out of her hair. And Bill's like, oh God. You know?
But like it legit spilled all over her, right? That was the thing.
Yeah. So it was hilarious.
Yeah. That's awesome. That was cool. It was cool. It was funny because poor Bill's very expensive moose vest was destroyed in the process. Poor guy. As was Moose on this show. Like, good Lord. That was nuts.
Did we miss that match?
No, you didn't. I'm just jumping in. I'm just on the main. Like, I'm just watching it now.
Yeah.
So I'll put it right here in front of me so I can watch.
Right.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, where were we?
All right, so yeah, we're
Jay
just
has to be up at 3 a.m, by the way, Trent.
For what? Where are you going, Jay?
To Chicago.
I have to assist my lovely Mrs. J-Bone, my wife Tracy, to take one of our daughters down to Chicago because she's leaving O'Hare for Texas.
Boo, Texas.
But you live in Texas.
I know.
Uncle Mark is there to greet her, though, right?
I'm trying to get the fuck out of here, bro.
trying to be anywhere but Texas. Yeah.
Trying to be anywhere but Texas. Yep.
But yeah, she's got friends down there, and we have to leave here at 3 a.m. to drive down to O'Hare. So that's gonna be fun. But we got
how far is that for you?
We got road donuts, so we're set.
How far is that, Jay? From you?
Well, it's in the middle of the night. It's gonna take about between I don't know. What do you think, Trent? Like an hour?
Oh,
yeah, you should be there an hour 15 at the most from where you're at.
Maybe an hour and a half, depending on how it goes. Yeah.
What, you live by the Milwaukee airport, though.
Yeah.
Is there no flight?
It depends on what she was trying to find economically too. So
yeah, sometimes I have to go to Dallas, which makes no sense because Houston is a much larger city. But every once in a while, there will be a destination where there's no direct flight, and I have to like either drive to Dallas or catch a layover.
It's just a much bigger hub, so sometimes it's a lot easier finding something out of O'Hare than Milwaukee. Yeah.
I'm heading out to Memphis on Friday.
Nice.
Going to Graceland.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
yeah. So that'll be fun.
You got the Elvis Fever from the movie, huh?
Well, I mean, I've been to Graceland once before, but I kind of rushed through it last time. I was with my ex.
Take your time.
I was with ex-wife that everybody knows about and likes to talk about. And
we haven't talked about the ex-wife in a while.
Yeah, the jokes haven't been up in a while.
Well, you're not really on very much except for on the throwback, which is no longer a thing.
Which is already thrown back.
But we will have a very special edition of the throwback for you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. You should tell them. Just really
So drop a little
something.
There is another podcast out there that focuses on the asylum, and we've been talking with them about just kind of getting together and shooting the shit coming off a couple fresh watches of the asylum, and we're going to get together with them and put something together for you guys. So we'll all be on, however many of us talking about the asylum and kind of going over the entire era.
They're doing their watch through, and they were cool.
They're almost done.
They're almost done. Okay.
They're almost done.
So we said a while ago, why don't we all just get together after you guys are done and just kind of shoot the shit? It's a nice thing to do in the 20th year, and it kind of does something.
True.
It kind of adds to the throwback catalog a little bit because throwback is done, so we can add to the catalog.
Another thing that I think is interesting is they are on YouTube, but they don't tend to it. They were like primarily a audio podcast. So I think it'll be a different experience for them. It might be like a unique, nice experience for them.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Actually have a live chat and stuff like that.
Just a couple pods, hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Right. So anyways, that's coming down the pipe, guys. Once they're done, we're going to put that together.
Yeah.
All right,
so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so this was a lot of fun. What was really interesting as far as the psychology of this match, there was a lot of people were amped up for the return of America's Most Wanted. But honestly, if you listen to the crowd, there was a lot of more people in this crowd just focused on PCO and him trying to get in the match, and then Eddie Edwards messing with him, tagging himself in, and PCO really not getting a lot of momentum in this match, and PCO being frustrated. And so there was it was really interesting to see the crowd was being 50-50 on this in a bit,
I mean, he's really popular. Plus, it's current,
super popular.
He's the best wrestler in the world. If he's not Impact World Champion by the end of this year, this company is fucked. Put the belt on PCO fucking right now.
PCO title?
Yes, PCO's the fucking man, and I'll hear no arguments against it, dude.
He's a former Ring of Honor.
Fuck yeah. I see why. So I actually watched that pay-per-view where he won because of the hype, and I had never really watched Ring of Honor. I see why their fan base was so into PCO. God damn, this guy is so lovable.
He is lovable.
1,000% every time.
He's 57 years old.
Great gimmick, great acting, great. I mean, fuck, dude, I love PC. I can't even. He's like my favorite fucking wrestler right now. I see him.
It's that vibe. That's what you're feeling. That's what everybody's feeling. That's the natural attraction to him.
He doesn't even have to speak. He exudes charisma and the aura of the business. This is a dude who goes out there and you fucking know you're gonna get a badass match every time. Dude, PCO takes 17 fucking minutes to get to the ring limping and shit because he's so broken down. But once he's in that fucking ring, he isn't human anymore. And I can appreciate the fuck out of that. Give me PCO all day. I think he's about ready to split off to what you're talking about, Jay. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there.
And I totally he makes all the crazy. He's cross-eyed. He rolls his eyes back in his head. He's hooting, he's hollering, he's snarling, he's screaming, making all these noises.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Pretty good PCO impression from Taurus there.
Yeah, I mean that's what I wake up sounding like every morning. Tracy's like, "How tomorrow. You doing?" And that's just me drooling.
Fucking eyeball falling out like when Taurus's eye popped out in that one match.
When you have to wake up tomorrow morning at 3 a.m, that's what it's going to be. Goddamn, coming flying out of Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's shoving donuts in my mouth constantly. Just wake up.
Jay's just really looking forward to the donut portion of tomorrow's.
Third donut mention. It's going to be just donut. If he doesn't get his goddamn donuts tomorrow.
No, they're already there. They're already there.
There's a box of 12 donuts on the counter upstairs.
And they're all for J-Bo.
It'd be hilarious for everybody else other than Jay if he wakes up and they're already done. If the donut, sorry, we finished the donuts. What would happen, Jay? Would you freak out? Monstrously freak out?
It's not going to be pretty.
If you have small children, please ask them to leave the room right now.
Don West.
Oh, man.
That video today, huh?
Man, that's a great video. I put it in the Discord after you tweeted it.
Yeah, I had to put it. I had to retweet that out. That was
very sad. Very sad. I don't
I mean,
it's not a happy video. It's really well done and it's great, but it sucks that the reason it was made is probably not great.
And I guess from what we have gathered, it's not looking good. Is that why this video came out?
I that's what I took from the fact that video came out, but I don't know.
I don't want to assume that, but it's just and I've said this before, and I've heard so many people say it over the course of this last few years. It's would you want to recognize someone? Give them their flowers while they're still here.
Absolutely.
Not after they're gone, which, so it could be just a case of that. I haven't heard anything either way. I mean, there's still advertising, please donate to the GoFundMe. So, because I mean, if they weren't doing that, then that would be a sign. But they're still saying give to the GoFundMe. So,
Okay, yeah, which is a good sign.
hopefully,
Yeah. I hope, man. It's my hope that it works out, man. I
Well,
mean,
you guys know I'm just kind of a natural pessimist, so maybe I just took that video the wrong way.
I could see why. You know, it
Yeah.
lended itself to
Goodbye.
like, oh
That's
man,
kind of-
like
yeah.
a goodbye, right?
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but that's what it felt like.
Yeah, well, me too. I mean, that's why I don't
It
know
was-
that was the reason, but
it was a great way for so many current and past talents to, give their love to a guy on the part of the company that was such a cornerstone for years.
You know what it could have been
one of
also.
the voices.
Yeah, you know what it could have been also is that while they were kind of filming everybody for the 20, they were like, "Can you send a shout out?"
Well, they got that one AJ guy back too.
Yeah.
For this. Yeah.
So like AJ's on it, Chris Daniels, like everybody was kind of already
Goldie.
there. Yeah,
Goldie.
it's everybody who was kind of already there. So which made me think, okay, well maybe their whole thing is like, all right, well since we got you guys, let's put this down too. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Where'd that Styles guy go? I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't know. He was big in the company in the early years, but
yeah.
Hey, how nice is it to have Kaz back around? Like, can we just get him back? Yeah, that speech.
What was he doing on AEW? Just
nothing really.
Yeah.
He was doing the Elite Hunter thing, but they botched it real bad. And then he came back to Impact after that briefly in the summertime.
You notice they're kind of giving that storyline to Heath now. Like they They basically teased it at Against All Odds that he's going to be this Elite Hunter. I'm going to go after all those guys one by one.
Bullet
Club, right?
Yeah.
Like in the Bullet Club Hunter, right?
Yep, exactly.
Oh.
So, I really hope Kazarian, his presence is not. He's not only here. We're feeling his presence. He's getting big moments, giving big speeches. His wife is there. Like, it just feels bigger than, hey, here he's back for this match for Slammiversary, and I hope that's the case because I would love for him to come back in a full-time role.
I gotta address Violet's comment about the gray in my beard. This is what it's been for a while. I just clipped it down because I'm about to dye it. I've been dyeing it. So I'm about to dye it before I go to my trips. I gotta look all nice and.
Anna said, "Holy shit, Trent! You turned 40 and you look old as fuck."
Yeah, for real.
This is what happens when you podcast with J-Bone too much. It's contagious. The salt and pepper makes its way through the other members.
So does this disappear next? And it's just skull.
You gotta dye it, man.
It goes down your back, and pretty soon your ass is covered in salt and pepper. Yeah. So you're welcome.
I just
TMI, J-Bone.
Yeah, I dip my face and head in paint, every few weeks. So that's it's been gray for a while.
Here you go. That's what Kaz was doing.
Oh, was he on TV? Okay.
I guess he was. He's with Scorpio Sky, but Scorpio Sky was the TNT champion until tonight. Congratulations, fucking War Dog. Congratulations, War Dog, on his
spoilers, Uncle Mark.
Oh, sorry. I don't even watch that show. Sorry. I just saw the picture and I was like, you know me, man. I was like, fuck yeah, Wardlow. So sorry about
watch it tonight, damn it.
Sorry, J-Bone. Sorry.
They call him War Dog? Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
He's a War Dog.
Wardlow's the future, man. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, that guy's gonna be the biggest name in the fucking business. I've been saying it since the beginning.
He's what Brian Cage should have been.
Yeah. No, you know what Wardlow is? Wardlow is Batista. That style. He's that style wrestler.
2.0.
Yeah. He's very much built in Batista's image. But Wardlow's mic skills are already fantastic. Dude has killer. Like, he just big star. I know it's on AEW.
Puts you ahead of the game, man. If you can talk, I mean, you're
if you can talk and you're 6'8", 300 pounds, that helps too.
Fuck. Right.
And he did a swanton, which I don't like. I did see that.
A swanton? I don't know why. These big guys, man.
That's just Cage giving him some pointers like, hey, try this.
Try doing lucha stuff as a big man. It totally worked.
Don't listen to Brian Cage.
It worked for me.
They loved it when I did that shit. Go ahead. I'll let you.
He's like, it worked for me. Look how over I am. fuck? All right, go ahead, Jay.
Sorry for all that AEW talk, folks. You guys know I fucking love Wardlow. I can't help it.
All right, back to PCO.
Pick-up.
Yeah, PCO's way better. Fuck. PCO versus Wardlow? Oh, fuck.
All right,
We
but,
can make this
but
happen.
PCO did one move towards the end of this match, and it was one of those things where he does a swanton and lands on like everybody waiting for him.
Yeah.
But he I don't know if he slipped or he tripped, but he did something and like hit the apron and everyone else. Oh my god.
Commentary sold the shit out of that one.
It was a crash and burn, like, oh my god. Just
Does PCO have a family? Or like this is the kind of behavior of a guy who's like, fuck it, man. She fucking left. My fucking kids hate me. I ain't got shit to live for. That's what this behavior is. Like, that's what I would do if I'm in his position. Like, fuck all this, man.
He's just, him and Dustin Rhodes are like the last two OG wrestlers left, like still really out there. Fucking
Dustin lost the, he lost the wife, the daughters. She's grown up now. He's like, fuck it, man.
I think that's what happens, right? Like,
yeah.
Dustin does a destroyer as part of his regular moveset now.
Why?
Right?
Why?
It actually looks. I pop when he does it.
Dude, you got to put Sting in that same thing, man. He's doing like 20-foot like crossbody dives onto people.
Yeah, Sting's crossbodies are getting nuts.
Oh,
kids are out of the house. I think he got divorced.
Like turned into a fucking monster, into a robot,
shit, man. What do you got at that point? Like, the hell with it. Just let it ride.
Look at all the PCO love, though. Can't wait for PCO Taurus.
You're scaring the kids. I'm leaving you. What the hell is that metal thing on your head?
Wow, that's a pretty good PCO.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, him and Vincent are totally.
That's me every morning.
Vincent was not the original guy, right? Who brought him to life. It was somebody else, right?
It was Vincent on Impact.
No, on Impact, but when they originally created this character.
Oh, I don't know.
There's some dude that he does videos with on YouTube called Destro or something.
Destro made all those videos, I think.
Yeah,
and that guy's good. But there was I forget who was in the skit who was
like
basically
the Vincent role.
Yeah, like the Frankenstein, in that role. And I'm trying to remember who it was.
Vincent's fantastic too.
Which, by the way, for everybody who does, Frankenstein was the name of the doctor, not the monster. Now people,
the monster's name was Frankenstein's monster.
That's right, Franken monster.
Yeah, we know.
Monster.
Just to let you know, I'm just putting that out there. A lot of people don't know that. They all think the monster's name is Frankenstein. It's not. Just letting you know.
Well, and there's that Alice Cooper song called "Feed My Frankenstein." That's
he just wants you to feed the doctor. That's all he's saying, basically.
And then there's Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie also. All right, we gotta get on. I want to talk about AMW. Let's get on.
Talk about AMW. Yes.
Yeah, this is the match.
Yeah. So I popped. I mean, obviously he's been around for a bit, Chris Harris, but dude, I mean, it was awesome to see him back, to see the entrance. And just you could see the emotion on him. That's the best part,
Storm
and then,
too.
I mean, both of them. I mean, there was that emotion of holy crap, this is real. When Trent rants back. Yeah.
Justin Miller, super chat. Thank you, sir. Says
I will. I've been
Trent rants back.
I've been bitter about some things lately, but I definitely I think I'm rant worthy.
Oh, you know what, Trent? What's going on with you?
I'll hire you back, Trent. All right, I'll hire you back.
That is after dark stuff, Trent. You need to make that happen. You got a lot going on. That'll be good stuff. You got to do that.
No, but you could see also there was that little bit of rustiness in the first tag in. I think he did great, but there was a little bit of that hesitancy. You can tell, Harris is getting in there for the first time in a long time, and it's a bigger audience. He did a few indies a few years ago, but it's there. He's got the braces on, but he looked good, But then that second tag in, he was warmed up, the engine was warmed up, and it's like riding a bike. And when he was when he hit the spine buster on Kenny King, I was like, oh shit, all right. Now we're in, because he was all in. So I just love seeing that happen. And then he hit the death sentence.
And the jumping lariat, the close off the ropes, his big old lariat. He hit
it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It was great to see that stuff.
The death sentence, you could tell they're a little older, but it's a tough move anyway.
Oh, sure.
To deliver. And I've never been a fan. But the lariat was fucking awesome. It looked just like old Harris. I mean,
It's that adrenaline, man.
Southpaw's back.
Just the air and then the roll through to finish. Like, it was just good stuff.
When that adrenaline hits and you're just like, you know what? I'm not even feeling any pain right now.
Yeah.
It was awesome. You could just see it, man. And it was cool. It was super cool.
They had to get the pin by death sentence. I'm really glad that the booking went that way. It was the right call. This was the right moment. It was the right way to use a 10-man match to keep Harris strong and make sure that this was going to go off without a hitch. Well-booked match all the way through. I really like this moment.
Action was great. Yeah, action was great too. Everything was great.
It was a great match. Honor No More, to me, has added so much to this company. It's not even funny. The dynamics of how great all of them individually are, as well as together, and you throw Maria in too. I mean, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
They deserve to be highlighted, all of them, constantly. This match was really good for AMW. I hope that this is followed at BFG with the induction. It would be just too sweet. Like, let's do that.
I agree with you. Honor No More has really, like, they're not getting the credit they deserve for how much they added.
Yeah, they're so good.
You're spinning almost two and a half, like 2 stories off of them at all times, you know, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah. Like, and then they're gonna branch off and other shit, but they have 2.5 stories going on within one group, and I'm like, man, they have given a nice little team versus team vibe.
Yeah, and they're all really strong workers. Every single one of them can talk, can work. I mean, having Kenny King back is sweet as shit. He's awesome. Vincent's awesome. PCO's awesome.
Vincent, I knew nothing about this guy.
He's so cool.
And he's cool as shit.
He's good.
He's legit Charles Manson is what he is.
Oh, big time. Big time cult leader vibes. Total Manson.
But he's great. I knew I mean, Jay he was in Ring of Honor, right? That's where this guy came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a whole history there between him, Taven, and Bennett, and there's going back and forth. You know, they were the OGK, and then they split. Vincent did his own horror thing where he had his own group for a bit and was going against Taven, and then Bennett came back and to counter it, and it was so but now they're all together, so it's
nice.
You know, it's the same but different.
Yeah. No, he's great. He's great. I think he's a Northeast guy, I believe. He wasn't some indie darling or anything like that.
Dude, when I actually liked him in Ring of Honor when I started watching, and when I followed him when he was at Ring of Honor, he had like 7,000 or 8,000 followers. Like nothing. He was really small time.
Well, like TNI UK interviewed him like several months ago. There's an interview with him on the network. So I encourage you guys to check it out.
When they joined,
right when he just got in. So I mean, none of this stuff had happened yet, so it's still very new. But I encourage everybody to check it out because you can get that early vibe. I mean, Ring of Honor was a break, but this is more exposure, obviously.
Critical sting, real quick. Taven has sold me on being a world champion. My big thing coming in was like, what, Matt Taven? I am a big fucking Matt Taven fan now. He is completely won over.
He gets a lot of shit. He gets shit on because they're like, oh, this guy, he's the one who killed Ring of Honor. And
I just think the shit I'd always heard, not being a watcher, was that he wasn't he should never be in a championship position. I'm not going to say that, but dude, this guy's really valuable.
He is good, man. He's like I was always like, Matt Taven. But dude, he's a talented guy. I cannot take away from him how talented
he is a selfless fucking worker too. Yeah. This guy puts everybody over huge. He takes tons of pins, tons of beat downs, isolates all the time in the ring as the last man left. Dude is totally selfless. Huge Matt Taven fan. I see why his fan club or whatever came with him to Impact. Like they go to all the shows. And I see, like that. That's what I know. It's small. This is a micro example, but that's what a draw is. Matt Taven is a draw, right? People followed him with his merch. He was one of the first people out there from that group. Not that they all aren't doing it, but he was really out there saying impact, and we're going to be the champs. This is what we're here for. Yeah. Like he was all in right away. And I'll give that back to Matt Taven. If you're going to be excited to be here, I'm going to be excited to watch you. And he's been nothing but a pleasure to watch so far.
Violet said she met him, Maria, and Mike. And Mike's super nice. I got to work with Mike. at AEW. He's Mr. Motivation. He's just a sweetheart. I've never met Taven, but he has contacted us about coming in. So maybe one day.
You should absolutely get him.
I'm sold on him. I never was. I was like, he's just a
Same.
regular dude. I think a lot of people didn't watch, like me. I barely watched him enough to make that determination.
Same.
But Jay, what about you? What's your take on Taven?
I like Taven. Like I was kind of in and out on the whole Ring of Honor thing while he was champ at the time. And I think it's just one of those things where so many people left for AEW and you only had so many people to build the company, keep the company going after that because it lost so many. And so then you go with what you have. And I don't mean that as in a negative way. It probably sounds like it's a negative way, but it's not meant that way. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, well, we'll see who we got here and who's best suited to lead this group of misfits into the next chapter. And Taven was one of those guys.
And, it looks like the chat is saying a lot of or echoing a lot of what Trent and I said. So from Impact fans, in case this gets back to Matt Taven, let me make this a formal apology on behalf of all of us who judged you ahead of time. We actually think you're fucking awesome, Matt Taven. So much respect from the Melvins. Yeah, we're sold.
We're definitely sold on him. Yeah, it took some selling, but I got sold.
If you put it this way, if you're not familiar with this stuff and all you watched was his tag match with Bennett versus the Briscoes at that final battle, when everything was a big freaking question mark and they all knew they just lost their jobs, his passion during that match and after the match, like kissing the mat on his way out, was like, oh man.
Really?
You could see it. You could see the passion. It was. I'll compare it to whether you love the guy or hate, whether you love him or hate him. I'll compare it to like the passion of someone like Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
So, and I mean that as a compliment.
I can't deny that. Cody Rhodes mega passionate. Love him or hate him, that dude's got a ton of passion.
Right. So, all right. So next, all right, we got another fun one here. The rest of the card's just a banger from here on out. We got the Clockwork. House of
or Clockwork Orange House of Fun.
I always screw this up. It's
Clockwork Fun Orange House.
Orange. It's the Orange House with Raven. I'm so confused.
This was something Dave and I back in the old days would we'd always extend it out. Like it'd always be the Clockwork Orange Sun-Kissed Fun House of Mirrors Raven Bird. Don West, like we just like add to it every time. Every time we said it, we would just add another word to it.
15 words.
Like just random shit.
But, so Raven comes out and sits with Tom Hannafin and Ray Wald, and Tom Hannafin shakes his hand, and he's just.
They were so nervous with him.
Oh my god!
You could tell they were so nervous. Like they didn't. Here's what upset me about that, Jay. They didn't really know how to play Raven. Like he's being Raven.
I know.
And they didn't really get it.
He's always such an enigma. You never. That's the thing with Raven is you never know what you're gonna get. He could have come in there just mad, like, who do these guys think they are? I created this, and he was just, Sammy Callahan looks like he's changed my stuff a little bit. It looks very very fun, and he's just like this guy they let out of the loony bin for let's see, he's got a 3-hour window. We're gonna give him his meds right before we let him out, so he's on this morphine high, just sitting with the crowd like all right, he's all meted up, guys, let's use him while we can because he's Raven.
I'm about to put motherfucker Hakeem in a timeout. Like, Raven made this match. I laughed my fucking ass off.
Dude, he wasn't. Commentary he's not a commentator. That's the idea,
dude. He sounds just like, if you remember in WCW, he would come out and do commentary during Flock matches, and his commentary looked just like this. He sounds the same on his podcast. Raven just talks, and shit comes out of his brain because the man is fucking brilliant. Like, all his little anecdotes and like jokes were killing me. Hakeem, you're crazy. Next time I see you, Hakeem, we're gonna fucking fight, dude. This Raven was fucking hilarious in this match, dude.
Well, that's what I was getting.
The box. It's a fun box. It's a surprise box.
That's what he was doing. Like, this wasn't because he sucked at commentary. This was all. That's all by design. That's Raven being Raven. That's what he does.
Right.
And those guys didn't know how to play it. That's what got me about it. I'm like, you guys aren't getting how to play this. Like,
yeah,
Hannafin and
they didn't feed well.
No,
by the end, they were getting better, but they weren't playing Raven the right way, which is kind of surprising because Ray Walt and Hannafin are top pros. Both those guys are real good.
There must have been a lack of communication there or something, as far as, like, you know, what were you going to get with this Raven? Like I said, you don't know if you're going to get some like snarling madman or some, hi, I'm Raven and everything's great, but, you know, spooky great. You know, it's like
that's like, I didn't want Scott Levy out there. I wanted Raven.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I wanted him to be twisted and fucking weird and like making it awkward. But the thing was, he made it on. The idea was he was doing it awkward on purpose, but they needed to know how to feed it, and they weren't feeding it.
They were like, okay, well then, and then they would just like seg back into the match, and it's like, no, that's that.
And a couple times they did, and he played right back. That's what he was. He's sitting there clearly waiting for it. That's the idea, you know. Like, he's literally asking you to play with him.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
chat does really want us to mention that staple to the dick. They were really the whole watch along popped with the staple to the dick too. It was a
staple to the dick was nuts. It was. He sold it like amazingly though. He sold it so well. Like, I thought he was like. I literally thought I was waiting for somebody to make a joke about how he can't have any kids now. You know, like
maybe he's actually had a staple in the dick before, and so he knew how to take it.
I'm not going to question that, but we do have a Bill joining us now.
A Bill.
What's up, guys?
Bill.
Bill. The front row Bill.
Bill, is that the vest that Maria wiped her hair?
No, that is not the vest. That is now.
Yes. Is that the cleaners now? Is that at the dry cleaners?
Well, depending on who you ask, it may or not be at the dry cleaners. Some may have said it should never be washed again, but
yeah, it may just be being put in acrylic right now.
It's framed. It's never going to be seen again. Yeah, that's you got your moment. You got your moment, kid. You got
it
was so fun.
She got pretty close to you, Bill. Did you get a little nervous for a second? That's what I need to know. Did you get
yeah, a little. You get a little nervous when Miss Maria's around.
She's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, well, when you get approached, you're like, well, wait, what's happening here? What's about that?
Like, everything's in slow motion. As she's like, you're like, wait a minute, I've
the watch along popped. The watch along was like, oh, look at Bill.
What's going on here? What's going on here? Oh, okay. Whatever you like. Whatever
on whatever.
She's rubbing herself on myself.
The match was unbelievable. It lived up to everything I wanted it to be in a Clockwork. I mean, this is Sami Callihan is the modern day Raven. You know, that to me, Sami Callihan, I've always said he's Raven and Terry Funk of the modern day. And that's what it was.
Son of Raven. Yes.
Son of Raven, grandson of Terry Funk. That's what the match. That's what he is. Go. Bottom line. So, Bill, I don't know if you feel the same, but you want to give us a live perspective of how that went over. Love to hear it.
Yeah, no, this was a hell of a match. I got definitely the crowd was into pretty much the whole show, but a match like this definitely took the crowd to the next level. They were. Obviously, we've seen Sami do matches like this before, but when you see Moose do stuff like this, I think that's even more surprising. But they went all in on this, and Sami still coming pretty fresh off that injury. Kudos to both guys; they really went all out here, and they went at each other pretty hard. And there were some sick spots during this match for sure, and it was great. I think that's the first time we've seen whatever you want to call them, the Legos, the whatever blocks. But first since 2018 Slammiversary. So it was great to see them back and play. Yeah, they don't use them much. That's rare they bring them out.
He didn't have that bag in the match with Eddie, like the Full Metal Mayhem they had.
I don't remember them going to the Lego route. I remember that against Pentagon and no other. Yes, that had their controller. So they've used other props, but like you see them on the not even that much on the indies. So it was good to see that because that popped the crowd.
It's a fun
What's
spot.
in the box? You got a channel. What's in the box? It was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, Ray Walt said it on commentary, very typically like the movie. You know,
What's in the box?
and I was like, shut the fuck up, Ray Walt.
Oh, come on, you have to say it like that.
Stay professional. Stay professional, you asshole.
Stay professional.
As he's sitting next to Raven, trying not to get his face
Well,
scratched off or something.
I was hoping Raven would have ripped him for it. You know, like what are you doing? What are you? You're no Brad Pitt. Okay, relax.
What are you doing? What are you doing, kid?
I mean, he was great. Bill, did you watch it back to hear the Raven commentary?
I didn't get a chance to watch it back. I've been pretty much either working or sleeping, or I was just at the Phillies Nationals game, a last minute invite from a vendor. So since I wasn't sure if we were definitely having it, I had to take them up on it at like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
God, I hate when that happens too, though, because then after work, you all of a sudden have an extra 4 hours of business that you weren't expecting.
Well, you got to be on. You got to be on.
Yeah, exactly. You're not just there for the game. Like
Business time. Business time.
You have to be on. Yeah, like I don't sit there and talk about whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but they're buying, right, Bill? I mean, you got.
Yeah. There is that. There is that. I may have had a few beers,
few sodas,
few. Daddy sodas.
Couple 2-tree sodas.
2-tree.
That's the Chicago way of saying that when you say you never say I had a couple of, you always say a couple 2-tree of whatever.
There you go.
Chicagoisms.
Yeah, they're based in Chicago. But match wise, anything else to add? I mean, I think they both did a really, really good job.
These two don't have a bad match together. And like Bill said, it's fun when you see Moose in matches like this. Like taking a trash can spot. That was probably my favorite part.
That was good.
was Sammy stuffing Moose in a trash can.
Yeah.
That's when Moose, though, that's when he pulled out the staple gun and got him in the dick. That's where the staple in the dick came from. Because I thought Moose was going to pull out. He hit Sammy with a bottle. Is that a real bottle?
Yeah, the bottle. That was it. Then he had like the jagged bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, come
he
on.
clipped the bottle he clipped it at a weird. I don't think he got his head. He kind of got his face.
It looked like maybe that cut him for real.
That's what I thought.
I don't know. It was a great match. It was really fun fucking match.
I mean, it's definitely the sugar glass stuff, but it just the way
we haven't seen that since Sammy and Melissa Santos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
wedding.
That was great.
That
was good shit in Mexico, right? Mexico taping.
So,
Bill was
Vegas. Vegas.
Okay.
There's a picture of my face going when that happened.
Hey, baby, let's go to Vegas.
A Basil
good
original.
Impact weddings are fantastic. That was a good wedding. That was my favorite Brian Cage moment.
So I want to hear everyone's opinion on the inclusion of Macklin. Ow,
okay,
fuck.
yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Macklin.
I'll be real quick. I like it. It sets up a logical next feud. Macklin's on his way to the top. You have somebody who's always going to be over no matter what. Put him over. I like it.
Okay. I mean, he needs a feud, and you put him in a feud with Sammy, he's going to be instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made, right? He's going to be a made guy.
I think it's good booking.
Okay. Bill, how did that go over live? I want to ask before you jump in, Javon. How was the live reaction to that?
I think the live reaction was mixed because I don't know if everybody was as familiar with Macklin there. The ones that were, I think, were like, oh, okay, what's going on here? But I don't know if it got I think it probably did better for maybe a home audience than even the crowd there because there was nothing really in the build-up, like in the vignettes, the video packages that were building up Macklin. I think we all knew he would appear on the show in some format. And this does make sense to where he would appear. But I do think it does really help putting him over because we know that's what Sammy does. He is like a gatekeeper in the company, and pretty much everybody he feuds with, his feuds are always gold. So Macklin, this is a great thing for him. Like he's going into the main event, obviously.
Yeah.
Big
exactly
big endorsement.
Okay, so now I there's a part 2 to this that I want to get your guys' thoughts on because I don't know if this is the way that because Moose shared something. It's a Marvel pick of Kingpin with the Punisher.
It's from Punisher Max.
Right. So is this like some new like rivalry? Like Moose didn't want him there, or because I first took it as Macklin is forming an alliance with Moose towards like others, like Sammy coming back.
No, so Kingpin is a bad guy and the Punisher is a good guy.
No,
So-
I know that, but I was just from how I first looked at this, I'm like, oh, Macklin is helping Moose win this. That's how I first looked at this. But then I look at that comic book picture and I'm like, wait a minute. Does Moose want to hurt Macklin now? I'm confused.
Yeah,
It's probably Moose doing it backwards.
it's Moose saying I'm still in charge. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm the big bad. Like your Punisher ain't shit. I haven't read Punisher Max, so I can't give you any more specific insight. So anyone who's read Punisher Max, let us know. I actually skipped that.
I collected it back in high school, so I'm a little rusty on my Punisher. So
Well, Max is 2008, so you probably missed that one if you were in high school.
I don't
Dolph
remember.
Lundgren's your Punisher, J-Bone. I know
There-
it.
Hey, Dolph Lundgren's my Punisher too.
He's my
No.
Punisher too. He's the only
Hey.
Punisher.
My
No,
Punisher is the other guy, Tom whatever.
Thomas Jane.
I like
Thomas
him.
Jane.
Thomas
Jane
Jane's
is
not
fucking
bad. I like Thomas Jane.
Dude,
Dolph
no,
Lundgren, I give the Credo to because he was the original,
Yeah.
but
No,
Thomas
no,
Jane
no.
did well with it.
Dude,
The
I
war-
like
the-
that
The
Punisher.
Warzone is the only legit one.
Who was in
I'll
Warzone?
get out of here.
I don't
That's
even
the
know what
last
the
one,
guy's
no.
name is.
Jane-
He's badass. No, it's not
Dude,
Thomas Jane.
Thomas
Danny
Jane did that.
Trejo?
Did that 9-minute online Punisher film, short film too. That was just badass as shit.
Plus,
It was
wrestling related, Kevin Nash was in the Punisher with
That's right,
Thomas
he
Jane.
was.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
in the Thomas Jane one.
Oh
Blonde
yeah,
hair,
yeah,
short
yeah.
blonde hair.
Is it
But-
War Journal that Jane is in?
Jane only did one, right?
Yeah,
it was just,
he
it was
only
just
did one.
Punisher
In the
That
short
was it.
film. Was it
Um,
just the self-titled Punisher?
There
Yeah,
was a
that was it.
short. There was a short one. You can find that on YouTube.
But I'll
Yeah,
tell you
that
what,
one's okay.
I like that one.
That was my
really
favorite
do.
of all of them.
Dude, the thing with the guy, the guitar and all that shit, that was great, man. Like the fucking creepy dude in the diner. That was awesome. That was a good Punisher, man. Fucking
I-
Travolta. you know,
I gotta
Saturday Night
look up
Fever.
and see who because the Punisher Warzone one that came out like is somewhere within the last decade. I
Mhm.
love that one. That one was really good. You guys got to see that one.
Okay.
It was probably one of the more comic-based, realistic ones.
Okay.
Honestly, like looking at like the character from the comic book. It was.
Did you see the original
real
with Dolph
great.
Lundgren, J-Bone?
I don't think he did. I think he's lying.
I don't think
I
you
don't know.
watched it.
I don't know, man. Dr. Manhattan looks just like I fucking expected.
When did that come out? Like 86, 87?
87, I want to say.
I'm a
right?
little
89,
fuzzy.
89.
89.
89. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little
I saw
fuzzy
that in
on-
the theater, J-Bone. Come on,
for
man.
crying out loud. I'm a little fuzzy on that one, but yes, I did see it.
It's pretty.
Well-
It's pretty for 89 and comic book movies being in the infancy, where only people like me would watch them and not everyday people.
I saw them all.
It was.
Everyone.
It was about as good as a comic book adaptation as there could be. But it
Guys,
was. You want
for a
gritty?
kid-
It was freaking dark.
for a
It was
character
dark.
for a character like Punisher, yes. But see, now you got to remember.
Yeah, you got the clean version of Punisher in these other ones.
I was-
Thomas
Not in the
Jane-
Netflix. not in the
Thomas
Netflix
Jane was a
series.
much cleaner one because freaking Punisher's an animal. That's
Well,
what he should be.
because I still had the mindset that Dolph Lundgren is the guy from Russia that Rocky.
Well, if he dies, he dies.
Or he's the guy who lives in Houston and fights aliens when they claim to come in peace, but they don't fucking come in peace.
That's
Wait,
right.
I just got to say this, though. Guys,
What
Leave
the
in
hell
pieces,
movie is
asshole.
that?
I come in peace. Shot in Houston, Texas.
in 89, J-Bone was too busy doing this.
Christmas.
And listening to Rush. You know what I mean? Like this, he was
Yeah,
doing
just for we
music.
know, we need
Like,
the
oh,
critical
what a rush.
sting. Critical
Oh,
sting.
swag.
We're too old. Comment here.
He's like, what the fuck are you guys talking?
Who's
What
Dolph
happened-
Lundgren?
What happened to Macklin?
Yeah, we're way off now. This is
Well, he's Punisher themed, so we have to acknowledge his roots.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it. Like I was waiting for Martin to jump in, like the Iron Sheik, and go, "Fuck the Steve Macklin," you know, like, just start fucking going.
Oh no, I like Macklin now. I just hate his character.
No,
But
I'm
his
just talking
ring
just
work
for the
is
sake of the
fucking awesome.
conversation.
It's funny. I saw Macklin the Thursday before the night before against all odds in Philly. The Monster Factory ran the 2300 arena, and he's a complete face there. Complete face.
I saw that they.
So it's so interesting watching him be the face one night, and then obviously
what's his character as a face?
They don't really cut promos there because it's a training school that just put on like a show. So he didn't really he kind of put over the owner and the company. But other than that, you could tell he's the good guy. But you even look every time he comes to the crowd, he always tries to jack up the crowd for cheers. So he's a heel that wants cheers. That's why he plays that Austin card a lot of the time, I think.
Well, they're about to turn him, I think.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to be his world title reign will be a face title reign.
Yeah, Bill, a buddy of mine was on that show. A buddy of mine was on that Monster Factory show. Rico De La Vega.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the Ricos here. You know,
Suave.
Yeah, he was on that show. I saw him post about. I'm like, hey, it's cool. Yeah, because he moved away from Chicago, so it was good to see him on that show.
All right, so it's our goal as a squad together. We got to like put our fists together on it. We got to put our heads together, figure out a way that we have to make Macklin over for Anna, okay? Because
is she not having it?
Anna doesn't get it yet. Okay?
Really? Okay.
So we have to. But
there's always somebody's like, I don't get it.
Before emergence, we got to work on her.
Well, you know what? Let's put it out there. What is it that you don't get?
Oh, I'll tell you. I really hated Macklin forever.
She's the same one that says that Bryan Danielson is boring, so she doesn't like that kind. She doesn't like that kind of grappler.
Okay, yeah. and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of grappler. I'm more character type. I like the big burly brawlers and so I can see where she's coming from. It's personal taste at that point. You know, it really is. So we don't have to get him over to her. Like she just doesn't like it. It's not her style.
No, you gotta love him.
You got it. Everybody. You can't like everybody. Can't like everybody.
Nope.
No, can't like everybody. But
that's okay.
Great match. I think
that's how I feel, Anna. I love he's won me over in the ring though, but I've been with you since day one. I hate his character. I don't care.
Mark's been adamant on that. You've stuck with that.
His ring work is just so exciting. He's so fucking fun in the ring. I love him in the ring.
He grew on me in the ring for sure.
Yeah.
See, I thought his character during the Honor No More storyline was great, but then they abandoned it because he was getting too much of a face response.
That's true.
They need to just turn him.
They didn't want to turn him then. They didn't want to turn him, so they backed away. But he was showing a lot of character there. Like he was outshining guys like Matt Taven, who is a very good promo. And
that's very true. Like
he's Matt Taven.
He's Matt Taven.
You gotta forget though that they did kind of abandon it at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like when Morrissey was a heel and was getting face response, and they turned him.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't want to turn Macklin yet. Obviously, they had plans for him.
Yeah. I hate that Morrissey left. Damn it.
So, all right. So to wrap up, to put a ball on this, so Moose gets the win here with the help of Macklin. This is going to be very interesting to see how this goes, as far as how Moose reacts to Macklin. We've already seen a little bit of that on social media. How does Sammy respond to all this being kind of double teamed without being double teamed? Because it's just, I just can't wait to see how this evolves. So
yeah, this one leaves you with something to look forward to.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Gia then backstage with Heath. Heath wants to take out all of Honor No More. So
it's kind of what we talked about. He's basically doing what Kaz was doing. He's going to be the hunter.
Yeah,
Bullet Club hunter type of thing, which I think is good. He needed something. Heath is.
It's a really cool thing that he can do it, right?
Especially not having Rhino there. He's needed something since he's came back to put some kind of focus on him. It's like, okay, well, what are you going to do now? Here you go. So yeah, here we go. This is definitely I had a tie. I was talking to Mark about this earlier, as far as a tie for match of the night. One of them was Trey versus Speedball. The other one is this match, the Knockouts title match, Tasha Steelz versus the defending Jordynne Grace.
You know who's the MVP on this one? Tasha. I'm gonna give it to Tasha 100%. She worked her ass off in this match.
Oh my God.
She was a monster in this match.
She showed how tough she was because Jordynne Grace came in here just wanting to clobber the hell out of Tasha. And Tasha kept countering a lot of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it.
It was a great work, man. I'm not a big Jordynne Grace fan at all, really, but I think that these two have chemistry that's like, whoa, like you guys, you definitely have good communication in there. Whatever you
they needed the right partner. Both of them needed the right partner, and they locked up well on this one because you could see both of them, depending on opponents, haven't looked right at times.
Yes.
Sadly, I know a couple of Tasha's defenses. She didn't really match up. It seemed well, where like stuff just looked clunky in there. But this
You're
one,
talking about both the decay matches, aren't you?
yes.
Yeah, good call. It's what everybody was thinking.
I'm going to be honest here. The match with Havoc was not on Tasha. I agree with you. That match was clunky. I thought Havoc did not wrestle well in that match.
I think that's what Bill's saying. She needs the right opponent. You know, there's only so much she can lead. You know, I mean, you need
that's the thing. Like, and with other opponents, they can work fine, but sometimes you just don't work well together. It's just it's like either it could be sometimes you can have size mismatches and it can work. Sometimes it doesn't. Like there's certain moves. Like if you're going to try a move on someone, maybe that does it does. It's going to look bad, and it did. It looked bad. It looked awful. Just don't do that move in the match. Like that's something you got to
go back to a secondary finisher or come up with a finisher for larger opponents. Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe trying that out. You hit it 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10.
Yeah,
you don't try that live. It's just probably not going to work. And those are things that happen. You try them. You give a little bit of credit for going for it, but it's not always going to work. So it's just like you live and learn with stuff like that. And some of them didn't work, but this one worked pretty well. But obviously, we say that, and we'll get to the finish.
Yeah. Go ahead, I just want to say that Jordynne Grace, her road, like, okay, let's rewind. Let's go back a couple of years to her first reign. I think she was ready for it, but she was obviously in a much different state here, and wrestling itself was in a much different state. We still didn't have fans. And that right there, you know, you've got your first Knockouts championship and you're trying to do it without fans. That in itself is a challenge right there. Because you're like, okay, you gauge everything by crowd response, and you have zero crowd response other than what you see on social media, and that could be a double-edged sword. So now, skip ahead till now. Jordynne Grace, over the course of the pandemic, has completely, and I mean completely, by the way, thank you for the super sticker. The
Impact Faithful podcast.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Thank you.
I can't even see the super sticker. J-Bo, you're going to have to tell us.
It's a cloud with someone popping out of it with saying, hey-ya. So,
there's actually like an animation? Like, is that what it is? I can't even see that either.
If you look, you can't see it on StreamYard. You have to go look it up in another tab, and then
No way.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, the chat's really backing you up here, J-Bone, and absolutely, you're right. Pandemic hurt her so bad.
She has redefined herself as a knockout. She has redefined herself as a wrestler so many different ways. She looks her looks are a complete 180. She is not that she wasn't beautiful before, but she was kind of plain Jane, like girl next door. Now her hair's done. She's got makeup. Like by the end of this is gonna sound like I'm knocking her, but this isn't a knock on her. She comes in gorgeous. She's the Knockouts champ, she's pumped, ready to go. By the end of this match, makeup's running, hair's all over her place. She's a hot mess. You know, she just went through a war, and she's screaming mad. You know, because they'll do the close up where she's just, you know. I absolutely love this charisma. Damn, Oreo, get your ass out of my face. I love this charisma from Jordan Grace. She, like I said, she's done a complete 180. I don't know what else to say about this. It's just when I knew that she was going into the Queen of the Mountain match, there were obviously favorites, but I'm like, oh, and I think out of our crew, I think I was the only one that picked Jordan. I'm like, did you? Okay. I'm like, she's ready. She is so ready.
I've been calling for the run.
She wasn't ready before. She's ready now.
I think you had it right the first time. I think you had it right the first time, J-Bone. She was ready, but the panini, the timing, she didn't have a chance.
Everything was so different then, and it just came off like
it was a bad run by not her fault at all.
Right. She was just a completely different person, completely different. Like she had the talent, but she was like her whole character, her whole persona, the way she presented herself was so night and day different.
Well, I mean, I'm with both of you. So Trent, I've never been a Jordan fan either. I'm still not a huge fan. However, I think she's a fucking amazing champion. I think this run is going to be awesome. I think
she's a good start.
She is the definition of intergender wrestling in the business, not just an Impact, in the business. No one is more believable. She's busted her fucking ass. She looks like $1 trillion. Not my thing, but she's ripped and jacked as fuck. Dude, I think Jordan has earned every single thing she's gotten from this company, and I think she's going to be a long-time pillar for us. I agree that Critical Sting or somebody said that when she has a match with Masha, it's going to be match of the year contender. No doubt. No fucking doubt. Jordan's matches with Deonna, with Tasha, Jordan has put up some fucking bangers. They just haven't been consistent. Maybe it's the dance partner. Maybe she just needed a little more time. Only issue I have that ties directly into this match is I hate her finisher because she's too small for that finisher. And
you talking about the Muscle Buster?
No. She should be using the Muscle Buster as a finisher, not the Grace Driver.
Oh, yeah. The Impact is not too. Yeah, she's
because short. She's so short. Like I remember when she did it on Taya, like a few years ago. It scared the shit out of me because Taya's fairly tall, and I thought she was going to break her neck. Tasha is very small, and we still got the same result from that weird position that she was delivering it in.
Yeah.
Can we just use the Muscle Buster instead? Please.
I'm for it. I think that works.
I think the Muscle Buster is a great callback too. It's got history in the company. It looks badass. Like
thinking about Joe. Yeah.
Like just that driver is too dangerous. I think after watching it delivered on Friday,
I'm not okay. So I want to jump the bill on this one because I know he was kind of pinpointing the end of this, which looked great, but it wasn't great because as soon as it happened, we see the ref throw up the dreaded X. But now here's the thing. But before I give it to you, is it legit? Like, is she really hurt, or is she just selling the crap out of it? There's like, it's an either or thing. What do you think?
I think it was legit. If it was a hard sell, I'm got it. Because it was definitely off camera. The sell went beyond if it was like it looked concussed.
Did she walk out on her own?
Barely. She was stumbling. She was falling. She was helped to the back, but it was not like she just didn't get up and walk away. And it wasn't just what you normally see as they're down, wait, slowly get up, walk away. It seemed like legit from people I've seen in sports have concussions. Like I'm going kind of the wrong direction. The legs are jelly. It kind of seemed like that. And this isn't the first time we've seen this with Tasha.
Okay.
Like it because at other tapings, she's kind of had similar type of incidents happen with injuries during this title run at tapings. So this is at least the second, maybe the third time. It feels like there's been like a move where she kind of after the match. So I just get worried from seeing it where once you get certain concussions, you get prone to them. And I don't want that obviously to be, so you got to be very careful. Once again, not sure what it was. No one said anything.
Yeah, reported.
Yeah, so nothing's been reported on it. Maybe it's just a great hard sell. But it was, yeah, it could have been. Like I've seen Big Joe got a stinger at one of the tapings. So not this recent one, but a previous one, and then he was fine the next go around. Maybe that's more what it was, but definitely you got to be careful when it could be anything neck head related. Now the thing is, I will say this about Jordan, like that move, she didn't just do it. She kind of she was getting her reestablished. So you would think everything was clean. You
didn't see the TV replay, right?
I did not see the TV replay.
It's different than how she was moving. I forget exactly what happened, but you're right. She was repositioning Tasha, I think from the back, maybe.
No, it was basically a modified. Okay, you know how Taya Valkyrie lifts you up from her finisher,
for like a thrown front position,
right? And then face plants. Okay, so it's bringing her up part way,
and then she turned her,
and then twist and drop.
Yeah. So when she turned her, though, it's like her head was tucked like too far or something, which is why it looked like she landed maybe directly on her head. It looked like it looked. I don't know where your position was from that, Bill, but I didn't know if you could see that.
Yeah, I was on the camera was behind me, so I was kind of right in front, so towards the camera. So from there, like it looked relative, like, but you could see there was an impact. There was definitely an impact, but I'm not going to say you don't see an impact on a lot of moves like that.
Right.
But it did seem like more like when you heard it, there was kind of like a ooh, like everyone kind of like was ooh. So I'm sure she got more of than what was expected. And then a smart performer probably goes, hey, I can sell this. So it very well could be the case. I think she stayed off kind of social media, but now she was back today, I think I heard. So good signs on that. Once again, like I said, hopefully it was just a minor thing, but definitely something you want to be precaution with all this. And you're right. If that's something where there is behind the scenes, like, ooh, issues taking this, modify. You don't always have to use the same finishers. You can vary stuff. Do what a lot of people do. Use the opponent's finisher against them as a finisher sometimes. Get creative. It's wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, I've finished matches with a V-trigger when the opponent was too big, right?
Yeah.
Deliver four setup finishers, right? Like 3 cutters or something like that.
Yeah, hey, for all the Kenny Omega fans, we're still waiting for Speedball to really break out the one-winged angel. He does it. That's his finisher on the indies a lot.
He did it here.
He did.
We popped fucking crazy for it in the fucking Discord because JPF some numbers was like, you missed this story, but we were watching that match, fucking great match. And we were like, oh, he's going for the leg. Bailey can't hit the ultimate weapon. Like, they sold the shit out of it. We're like, what's he going to do? JPF's like, oh, maybe he'll use the one-wing angel. And we're like, that'd be awesome if he used the one-wing angel. Holy fucking shit. He's the one-wing angel.
What they call it a flamingo.
It's a fucking, J-Bone, shut up. It's a fucking one-winged angel.
What do they call it?
It's a fucking one-wing, shut up. It's a one-winged angel.
Flamingo?
They call it a flamingo driver.
What?
It's
the original name.
It's a one-winged angel.
But you can't call it that.
No, it doesn't have the oomph of the one-winged angel. Flamingo driver doesn't sound.
Driver?
It doesn't sound really like
Scotty Flamingo.
Well, because he's like
Scotty
the
Flamingo
Karate Kid.
That's funny as hell.
It's not a good name. It doesn't make me hear the battle
Ralph
cry.
Macchio, like the silhouette, he's standing on the post and he does the flamingo.
Oh, is that it?
Wait, no.
Because Speedball
Isn't that the Pelican? Isn't that the Pelican? Come on, J-Bo.
That's a basketball team.
it's the aardvark. All right, let's continue.
Anyways, we got one match left.
That's the aardvark.
Justin here's the
Oreo
battle
did
cry.
not like that. I'm sorry.
Oreo don't like it. Oreo don't like it.
She didn't.
One-winged angel. One-winged angel. One-winged angel. All right. Kenny Omega fan club in the house.
Jiminy. All right. So Jordan Grace wins here. Well, hopefully Tasha Steelz isn't too banged up, but significant win here for Thick Mama Pump. All right. World title match on the line. Josh Alexander defending against Ooh, Joe Doring.
Probably one of Doring's best matches. Obviously, you're not gonna have a bad match against Josh, but man, it was. I watched it while we were on. I had it up right here, and it was a good looking match, man.
It was slow paced because Joe Doring is a monster and he's a throwback, and he's all these guys that we've come to know over the last year because a lot of us are new to Joe Doring, like myself, and I think most of this crew is.
Yeah.
I will say this. I love Josh and I love Joe, but as far as this match compared to everything else we saw, was probably my least favorite match on the card.
Oh.
Like I was looking for. I'm not saying the match sucked. Please don't take it that way. I love the match.
Gotta have a least favorite.
I love Joe. I know Bill's gonna kill me when he sees me in Chicago.
Bitch.
He's gonna hit me over the head with the Joe face.
Which got a lot of screen time.
No, just because of everything we saw leading up to this. You had the AMW, you had the X Division match. We had what we were just talking about, Jordan Grace going balls out against Tasha Steelz and everything else that we saw tonight. And then we had this really slow, methodical, old school brawl. It wasn't a wrestling match. It was a brawl because these two just beat the shit out of each other. But it was so slow paced that it was like hard to keep my like excitement level up because it was so, okay, now I'm going to kick you. Now I'm going to bounce off the ropes. Now I'm going to drop an elbow. It was like, just everything else was like, okay, now I gotta like slow down, but I'm trying to keep my excitement level. It was just tough. It was tough.
You modern wrestling fan.
I totally get what you're saying.
It was a great match. I like I said, I love both these guys. And it was what I expected. Just this was a match that honestly, with everything else that we got tonight, it belonged in the middle of the card.
Card placement hurt you then. I loved this match. Like I was rooting for Doring. I mean, it was a very old school match. Dude, Doring's offense, his persona, how old school that video package that they put together on Impact was chef's fucking kiss. Like if that didn't make you fear the fuck out of Joe Doring. The only thing I don't like about this is that he got the reverse. Like he should have been before EY in terms of challenging Josh, but whatever. The match was great.
Or they're selling him as the true monster. That's why he's
which would be awesome. Like, this match was exactly what I thought it would be, J-Bone. I totally understand why you didn't like it. That was the reason I did like it.
Well, please don't take it as that I didn't like it.
Difference of opinion. Or as much.
It just compared to like the level of everything else we got was like, it was just a different pace match, you know?
Yeah, it was. And I like the immovable monster stalking and beating down the babyface champion. You know, like that's always a fun, fulfilling match, especially
that's Hogan Andre.
Yeah, especially when you're babyface. I didn't think we were going to see C4 Spike as the finisher. I thought we were going to see ankle lock because of Joe's size.
Right.
So I don't know about you guys, but I almost shit myself and I popped really big for C4 Spike only because I did not expect it. Josh is maybe the best wrestler active right now in the world. He's certainly in the conversation, and every match is a gem in a different kind of way. And I think this is another one you just put in Josh's hat that like, he can wrestle any match, any style, anybody, any size, anything. So kudos to Josh Alexander. I don't think there are many people believably who could beat him right now. If Joe Doring couldn't do it, Josh had been losing this belt for a while.
Yeah, and they built Joe as this beast that was just like you said. It's the slow-mo, the stalking monster that was going to do stuff out of nowhere. All of a sudden, boom, lariat. Like, whoa, he just clobbered Josh. We thought Josh was coming back, and now Josh is down again. Now what? It's, so there were those great moments in this match. It just wasn't my favorite. That's all.
What I like about Joe's offense too is, so he's a big guy. He has a big guy's offense, right? Lots of lariats, lots of like whips and turnbuckles and stuff. But man, it's so explosive when he does his big moves, whether it's the crossbody or the finisher, or he does that short arm clothesline follow off the.
As it should be when a big guy wrestles, right?
Yeah, I don't know how Joe Doring is like the perfect big guy for what, as a wrestling fan, you think of as the big man.
You would think other guys would take that lead, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, like, so I unabashedly and unashamedly fucking love Wardlow, but to see him do that swanton was like, what the fuck? I want to see Joe Doring's finisher. May not be your traditional finisher. It may look like it has a little too much setup sometimes, but it is so fitting and perfect that he finishes with Stan Hansen's lariat, but it's modified from a DVD. Everything. Yeah.
What you want a big guy to do?
Yes. It says, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you till you can't get up. That's what I want from Joe Doring.
If a guy that size was in a fight on the street,
that's what it would be.
Yeah, that's what he would do. He would not bounce off a car or Jackie Chan off a wall,
right?
To get a kick in and do some stuff like that. He would brawl and he would methodically beat you down.
And we haven't seen a big man in Impact. No disrespect to Morrissey or Moose or any of the other big guys. Moose doesn't even seem like a big guy anymore compared to everybody else. But
I've become a hardcore wrestler.
But Doring, right? Doring works like a big man, even in terms of like his crowd interaction and ring psychology. When he hits a big move after the explosion, he stops every time to survey the crowd and to like make his face. Joe Doring is fucking a classic talent. I don't know how I'd never heard of this guy before. He's really good.
Dude, he was stuck in Japan for a decade plus.
Yeah, but I mean, still though, like.
But see, he was in All Japan, which got dwarfed. It got dwarfed by everybody out there,
But Jesus, I know it's getting his due late, but I'm really glad he came to Impact. I'm really glad we got a chance to see him in a championship match. I don't know what his contract status is or how long he's going to be around, so I'm really thankful for this match. This will be one I watch back.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
J-Bone, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Joe. I think he's the fact that he got a main event. He's got 2 tag belts under his resume now. I think it's nice to see him prominent. Get the just because I think he's got to be mid-40s. I'm gonna guess.
Probably seems about right.
I got a bad feeling this might be it because I know he's going back to Japan for a tour.
I think he was already there and came back again.
Oh, was he?
This is a 2-day tour.
He did a benefit show.
How about this?
Oh, okay, that's what I saw. All right.
Joe is exactly 40 now. He looks a lot younger. I mean, older than 40.
Yeah, he does look. He looks older.
He's the same age.
Yeah.
But you look at older pictures of him in his run in Japan, and he looks like a completely different guy.
However, he he has he's lived a pretty rough life. I mean, wrestling. And he also had the cancer battle.
He also beat cancer. Yeah.
But he's 40. He's exactly 40 years old. Turned this year. So man, he's dude. I'm so glad. I'm so happy to see him get to do. I think he's a quintessential big man that a lot of people can learn from, and I hope other guys in the back are just chewing his ear off because of that.
And I don't know if he'll ever make. I think the cameras were rolling. I don't know if they'll ever play it. But after the match, when they went off the air, Josh really put over Joe.
Really?
And he didn't really. It was I wouldn't say it was a total curtain call because he stayed outside the ring and stuff. But he was acknowledging Josh, and Josh acknowledged him as that's the toughest fight he's ever been in, Josh. He's going to be feeling that because that whole thing about the scars, he's like, I might not show scars, but I'm feeling those. I got a lot of scars tonight from you, Joe.
They clobbered the shit out of each other. That's why I said it wasn't a wrestling match. It was a fight.
It was a fight. It was a fight for sure.
Definitely a watch back.
Yeah, this is one where, and I was telling J-Bone the other day about this one. This was one where, and I kind of knew watching it. This happened a couple of years ago with the likes of Elgin. We haven't had a lot of wrestlers in the company that do this slow, methodical build where you gotta the crowd eats it up. It's real New Japan.
Yeah.
strong style, not flippy,
mixed
jumpy. You need high spots constantly, or you have no attention span. That type of wrestling, which the community wants.
It's not the strong style. Okay, I'm gonna forearm punch you. Now you.
It's like when we got Kojima. Kojima was perfect.
It's more of that. And so that's what he's doing. And this, honestly, the most psychology. Sammy and Moose had some good ring psychology.
Oh yeah.
But these by far were the two matches with the most ring psychology.
This was the one.
Yeah, so I put this at the top, but I got to give Sammy and Moose due. They had a lot going on in their match. It's one thing to do spots, to do ring psychology and have the crowd go with it. That's a skill that not everyone can accomplish, and these guys were definitely able to sell that. And like, I'll give you an example. A guy that was sitting like 2 spots from me didn't really know. He just wanted to go to a wrestling show. He doesn't know these guys. He's like, oh, that guy's the champion. That guy's going against them.
And he was in the front row.
Yeah, and he was telling like his I guess his son, like an older son, but like his son. He's like, that big dude's beating his ass. He's like, I think he's going to take that title from him.
See,
and
that's the reaction, right?
That's what you get with Joe. And like when he's hitting those lariats late, just picking them up and knocking them down. And like he was undefeated, never pinned. He's the believable monster. And that's obviously why I like Joe a lot. I think a lot of people like Joe. He adds something different, and you can keep doing that. Like, obviously, I think we all thought Josh was going to win.
Yeah. There was a few moments where I thought Joe might win.
It does give you like, ooh.
There was a couple minutes in that.
Wrestling can still give you those moments, and the matches. And
let's just be honest. All of us are old guys who've been watching wrestling our whole lives. We expect Joe Doring to be champion because he looks like the fucking champion. Mm-hmm. I mean, he really does. The coat, the size, the moveset, the faces, the crowd interaction, like everything about the way Doring carries himself. We don't just compare him to Stan Hansen because he does a lariat. He truly is Stan Hansen for this modern era. Like there's totally. You don't have to try to say it another way because that is the most fitting comparison, and it's perfect.
Yeah, Stan Hansen, it's Barry Windham, it's Dan Spivey, he's mixed of all these guys into one, and he kick all their asses.
Yeah.
He's a bad motherfucker. I like Joe Doring.
Bill
is obvious. I was going to say Bill's our super fan, but all of us love Joe Doring.
I was going to say throw Bruiser Brody in there too.
Yeah, he's a combination of all of it, man.
When Joe is bouncing Josh off the ropes and you're expecting him to hit him as he's coming at him, but no, waits till Josh passes him and hits him from behind with a freaking lariat. Oh my God. No one does that. No one. When he does that and then Josh flies 3/4 of the way across the rest length of the ring and, hits the turnbuckle and just crumbles.
Yeah, Joe.
Even Oreo knows what I'm talking about, right?
His offense is so exciting. That's part of the psychology, though, right? He's got a plodding pace, but it's on purpose.
That's it.
One big hammer swing, and then he sells it like he just broke your back with his arm, right? And then when he does decide, again, I'll use my favorite one is when he does the short arm clothesline, or it's like a half ring rope throw.
It's like a rainmaker.
They fall out and he drops. Yeah, he clotheslines him, then drops the elbow immediately.
Yeah,
like, that is so fucking dope. And then he just
no one does that.
Yeah, nobody does that. And then he just gets up and he fucking big mans it. And like, it's not that Bill. You just said he's so different. And you're right, but you're totally wrong. All these other guys are different. Joe Doring is what I grew up watching. That's what makes him different now.
Well, I think he's different now because but he's not. That's why, like, even J-Bone, you're like that. What? This doesn't make sense. This isn't wrestling. Like it just, and people don't get that. That was the psychology of wrestling, and people don't. I think some of them don't even get that. That's what's going on. He's a throwback, but that's what wrestling was. Wrestling today, you get hints of it, but a lot of it's very different than it used to be. But this is what brings, like, that's what's great about Joe. It's going back to that. It's like he's keeping it alive still. The wrestling, that old school style. And a lot of guys in Japan do keep that style, but then there's that total other wave. And you don't have to have all one or the other. You mix it up. That's what's great about wrestling and Impact, is they got all the different styles. You can have the hardcore. You can have the strong style. You can have the flippy stuff. You can have the ladies. You can have everybody doing everything. And it's a good mix of all. But that's why I was actually pretty annoyed leaving Against All Odds. And I'm kind of getting instant reaction on Twitter, and people were complaining about the main event. I'm like,
complaining? What's there to complain about?
It's because it's sort of what J-Bone was saying, but to an extreme to criticize the match.
Right.
Because they don't like the pacing, because they don't like that style, because they don't know that's wrestling. And that's more like, ugh. I don't want to blanket a wrestling fan, but I think it's just not either. Maybe you're a newer fan and haven't seen that style in the past. You don't kind of get it, but at least try to understand it. And it was more instead of crap it. And that thing, I think people think a match like that can only be on the mid card and not a main event. And I
maybe if you watch, and maybe like for us, obviously we grew up watching this kind of wrestling, but maybe if you showed this match in isolation in a vacuum to someone without the context of the card, they would like it more.
Yeah, because they need the fast pace and all to open and close shows. You can't have that open or close a show. You'll lose the crowd, and that's kind of what happened. I think a little bit. At least that's what I was initially seeing. A lot of that. It was because obviously there was some great matches on this card, no doubt. For this style of match, it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It told a story.
It did. From a pure psychology wrestling perspective, it was the best match on the card. I'll give you a really good example real quick. I know we're super long on this. Speedball Trey, fantastic psychology and Spot Monkey stuff. Really good combination of the both. If you want to see like a modern twist on telling a story inside the ring, those two guys did it great.
And you did, because they were selling injuries with the knees and stuff. Very well done, which you don't usually see in a match with that many spots. So that was very well done. The hardcore match with Sammy and Moose, a lot of good psychology, also with an extreme hardcore match. You can do both in these. It doesn't have to be one or the other. So all three of those, top shelf matches on this card, no doubt. But that's why. But I remember this, like every time you see a major promotion do these style matches during Alexander, there's always a part of the fan base that's kind of hesitant on embracing this. And it's because they don't see it often.
Right.
Even Joe,
I'll tell you guys what.
He hasn't had many singles matches. He's mainly been tag and it's hidden. So
he only had one before this or two.
I'll tell you guys what. It's been a talk, especially amongst a couple circles and like AAW also, but at Impact too. I know from what I've heard through the grapevine, why Josh's like the numbers for his videos are not as high as you expect them to be. Like people aren't and he's the best wrestler in the world today. You know, like he's the number one guy, but his content is never like, and like at an indie, you know, he's the Impact champion. He's fighting everybody, and he's not this like ultimate draw no matter where he's going. I mean, he's a draw, but he's not an ultimate draw. You know what I mean? And you wonder why. And I think it's just a lot of people. Today's fans been so goddamn brainwashed with this other style of shit. This overtly indie style that when you got guys like Josh and Joe who are bringing it to these roots, who are really truly trying to look like athletes and look like wrestlers and have a match that looks like two wrestlers having a fight, people don't know they don't know how to interpret it. They're lost. Like today's fan is lost, and that's that fan of guys our age and old and who never came back from the WCW era. You know, that's the ones who, when that ended, they shut it off because this is what dominated now. We're around and we like it, but there's not enough of us out there. Like the new fan is not understanding this.
Yeah. No, they're not. That's why it's not even like a real criticism. It's just
right.
Yeah, no.
You got to get them. You got to do more of it to make it feel like it's not so out of the norm. And it's like, what's going on? Like, and maybe there is more like Japan wrestling fans that like it because it is more common. in U.S. wrestling, it's not common at all anymore.
It's not
very
common.
rare.
Yeah.
I mean, think about why did All Japan? I mean, All Japan was the fucking promotion, and they're like a blip. Who talks about All
Yeah.
Japan?
Nobody.
Nobody talks about
They're
it.
below Noah.
They're below Noah. Noah's flying in people. All Japan's not.
Yeah.
And that says something. It's like, what happened? You know, that New Japan style when Gato and Jado took over and they turned it into this, like this, you know, all everything's strong style. Everything is 200 moves an hour and no psychology, very little psychology. I'm not gonna say
Yeah, it
no.
all went to work rate. It all went to work rate.
All went to work rate. And then all the guys here, all the wrestlers here who are marks for that stuff were like, oh, I gotta do that. And they brought it here. And that became the thing.
I
So
mean, a pure work rate match with a bunch of spot monkey shit is fun and exciting, and I like that kind of wrestling too, but not like it's just one aspect of it, right? That's why I mentioned the speedball Trey match. You can do that stuff.
Oh, you can do it
have
well.
you
Yeah.
could do it well,
yeah,
like those
and
guys
still
did.
tell a classic wrestling story in the ring.
Absolutely.
It can be done. You know, but some of it is probably not even so much the wrestlers or the fans, but you know, this business has evolved, you know, in lockstep with television. So whatever they have found works on TV and been told
No one's
works on-
watching TV. No one's watching on TV.
Well,
Freddie.
yeah, not anymore.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Bring this back and they'll come back, people.
I would watch Josh and Joe all night.
Absolutely. 100% you would, you know, because it's
Yeah.
something, because it does feel different. It really does feel different.
Well,
When
same
you
with
see
Josh
it-
and EY.
Yeah, because when you see it, you're like, man, this feels fresh. It's new. It's new to us. You know, it feels new again.
Yeah.
I told everybody the story. I went to go see Control Your Narrative, and Bill, you went to one of their shows. How different was it? You know, people have a take on the show was so fucking different that I was like, me and Skull were like, wow. It left us with something because you don't see anything like that. They're completely in the other direction. And I'm like, oh my God, it's something fresh. And that's what this match felt like. I was like, man, nobody's doing this.
Yeah, it's a throwback, but it's fresh because it's different. Because you don't see
Different
like I said,
today.
the last time you do it is when Marufuji came over
Right.
and was wrestling Eddie Edwards and Elgin in those style matches.
And Josh.
And you got
Yeah.
the same talks back then. It was like slow build.
Oh,
Ooh, I
dude,
like
Mark.
that. Oh, better. Oh, okay. like, but
Mhm.
it was like I remember there were people kind of booing some of those matches at the beginning of them.
Oh,
because they were
dude.
slow, and then
The
they
hard-
turned around by the end.
The hard to kill we were all at. The first half of the card, it was you had the Brian Cage thing, stuff happened. It wasn't a really hype crowd. Elgin and Eddie happened, and it was dead. And then they got to about the 10-minute mark of that match, and all of a sudden, the rest of that show was
Yeah, and then
fire
it
as fuck.
became a 5-match series, and all they did
Yep.
but once
Yeah.
again, people initially were like, "Oh, whoa, what is this?"
Well, I think
Well,
that
what's
was
this pacing?
that may have been the final match in the 5-match series because
It may
Elgin
have
was
been.
gone right after because the Panini. But yeah, they had a bunch of those matches, and it never got old. I loved watching piece of shit Elgin versus Eddie every time. It was a bunch of good matches, right? Because those guys, exactly, it's strong style, storytelling, psychology, give
Just
it time.
different.
I don't want to see 4
Yeah.
minute matches. I don't give a fuck about a 4-minute match unless
Right.
it's a squash to build story. But
Exactly.
you know,
Right.
that's why back in the day, when there was a television time limit of 20 minutes, you got a 20-minute match. Like, you know, like nowadays, if they don't do it in Impact, but like on AEW, they'll have 10 minutes of TV time left and say it's a 60-minute match.
Yeah.
Just try and make it believable, you know? Like it, and that applies to, well, we say believable, but we also like the comedy and the silliness of Impact too. But everything has its place. Impact does a good job of kind of fitting it all into an hour and 30 minutes of programming every week.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm just rambling now. We're 2.5
No,
hours.
you're
talking.
making sense. And
Hardcore motherfuckers.
And I was there. This is true. It wasn't silent. I wasn't silenced thing, but everybody else was.
That was a great fucking match. And Marufuji's last trip to Impact was so good. He
It
had
was,
Elgin,
yeah.
Eddie, and Josh, I think, were his 3 matches, plus a tag match with Josh, right? 4
Yeah,
matches out
he
of
tagged with him.
Marufuji in
Something
like
like
3
that,
days. That was a great fucking setup. I think he was only here for a pay-per-view and 1 set of tapings, but it was good stuff.
Good stuff, man. It was
Yeah.
great stuff. I think they did a great job. But yeah, dude, that says it all. Honestly, it's just you gotta. I mean, I'm glad that Impact has the guts to do this, to just try different shit, man. Like this is, it is a chance you take in today's market, to take a chance to say we're gonna go with an all Japan style match for a main event. And like Bill said, people took it weird, so they're like, oh, that was boring.
Right. Yeah.
This is a match that'll age like fine wine, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Jay.
Like by itself, I love it. Just at the end of this, it just felt different, Like I had to watch it again tonight because when I was like under the weather the other night and I was watching the whole thing, I fell asleep during this match. That's not a knock on the match. I was just feeling under the weather. So I watched it again tonight, and I'm like, I really made myself pay attention to it, but I still didn't come off like, oh my god, match of the night. I just know it because I felt like I loved others. Trey Miguel / Jordan and Tasha were like my picks. So
yeah.
And you know what? You could make a case for almost any match on this card for your match of the night. It was just a up and down, really solid show.
It was loaded. It was so much fun. It had everything for anyone. You had a little bit of nostalgia with the tag match. You had great X Division stuff. The women absolutely knocked it out of the park tonight. The main event was special in its own right. So yeah, you had something for everyone. It was great all day, and that's why we love this brand so much. Is because they consistently do this for all these shows. These little shows in between the big 4 pay-per-views have become must-see, and I'll say that again and again.
Yeah, what a difference.
I would go so far in an extreme as to say I've enjoyed almost every single Plus special more than I enjoyed Rebellion this year, the weaker of the 3 pay-per-views. The specials have been can't miss. Like if you're not watching these for $5 or whatever it is on YouTube, you're missing out. They're really the best deal on the market. I think.
These are great shows. I mean, they're giving you a lot.
Oh yeah.
You're getting a ton on these shows. Like this was a great show. No question about it. This was a really, really good damn show. Yeah. And you might, hats off to them because they delivered. I mean, they're consistently delivering. Definitely the criticisms I have, and I know Mark, we talk about the criticisms we have are more on like from the business side.
Yeah, absolutely.
The marketing and some aesthetics and things like that. That's
in terms of a TV product, no complaints.
There's no complaint on the product. It's more so just infrastructure that we rant about.
Yeah.
And I feel that's rightfully so.
We'll actually have for patrons, if I can just really quickly just drop a little teaser here. We have something special that we're working on with a different podcast, not the one we were talking about earlier. A podcast some of you might actually even be familiar with and maybe know the people on it. We will be doing a Patreon topic discussion of company structure and dealings with Impact probably sometime in the very near future. So you have that to look forward to as well. So you can also find us on patreon.com/WeTalkImpact. If you are not already on the Patreon, the tiers have been reorganized. We're down to 2, a $5 and a $10 tier. If you want extra programming and shows, the $5 tier will get you family dinner and hit and run. If you want the After Dark, which is the goat of TNI, you'll be in the $10 tier, and you also get access to the Treehouse, where we show pay-per-views, do watch-alongs, watch movies, talk about weed. So, hit us up.
Yeah, we turned the kid into a pretty good host over here, huh, J-Bo? Look at that plug.
I'm tapping out because I have to get up in 3 hours. So I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. Much love and thank you, my 3 brohams, for coming on and joining me in this and not leaving me solo. I greatly appreciate it. This show was better late than never. Deserved to be talked about. We all loved it for different reasons. So I'm going to leave you guys. Much love. And I'll be back tomorrow night. But like I said, I got to be up in 3 hours. So
before you leave, Jay, before you leave.
Which one's Jay?
Get the hell out of here.
See you, Jay.
That's where I'm going to be in 3 hours.
Where's
my donuts? Where's my donuts?
Wake up.
Which one's Jay?
All right, see you, Jay. Jay's out of here, everybody. Wish him well. Okay.
And we're actually right behind him anyways. I've been here like I said, I saw Jay was solo 5 minutes in. I was like, oh shit, I better go get on. So 2 hours and 40 minutes later.
Yeah. Well, it was a nice little chat. Yeah, but we're going to be doing that chat on Patreon that Mark mentioned. So stay tuned. Probably maybe in a week or so.
Some of you can probably guess who that is, and I think it's going to be a shit ton of fucking fun.
We have a special guest for that one. That's going to be a nice little. It'll be a little ranty, but it's ranty on the business side. It's all purely a business sided podcast, and that's the idea.
And we'll get some comparative experience between a more seasoned podcast that's been around longer than we have, and us as well, who now have 4 years of experience doing this under our belts for Impact Wrestling. So should be fun.
Yeah. So that's the idea with that one. So stay tuned. We're gonna be coming at you with that one pretty soon. But let's wrap it up. Let's get out of here. Bill, where are you next? Why don't you tell people where you're gonna be next? Are you going to the Bluegrass Brawl? Is that Kentucky? Are you going?
Is that what it's called? the Derby City Rumble or something?
Derby City Rumble. That's what it is.
Yeah. I will be in Louisville. So that is not this weekend. The following weekend.
This has got to be killing you. This new travel schedule.
I mean, you're dying, Bill. I mean, do you even have a house anymore at this point?
Yeah, this is brutal.
Have you even had to make your bed
it's getting tough. But I don't know. Pretty soon, I might be tapping.
Look,
pretty.
If they start doing this up and down the West Coast,
then it's done. It's done. It's X's all around. We'll see though. We'll see if we have much more we can carry on.
Wait, I know what we'll do. Let's get your face made into a big head, and we'll make sure we mail it to somebody that's doing the West Coast loop.
There you go. Well, Vegas, I got to go to Vegas. I love Vegas, so I'll go back to Vegas. But like, if they do like a California loop or like multiple, then I'm probably out.
Are you coming to Chicago? Are you coming?
Yeah, I'm confirmed for Chicago. Confirmed for Louisville. Texas is still maybe
2-day taping in Dallas only, right? No special announced. Yeah.
Everybody hate the venue that they're going to.
The Bomb Factory?
No, here in Chicago,
good.
Cicero Stadium. Everybody hates it. They're like, why all the fans here in Chicago, like, why the fuck are they going to Cicero Stadium? God damn it! It's not a great place. But it's one of those that MLW and Progress went to it, so the size is perfect for these guys.
Yeah, size wise, there's not a ton of great options, I would say.
There's not. That's the thing. You don't get the mid-size anymore. It's either, Bourbon Street, which is a little too small for them, or you have to go to an arena. It's like this is your perfect 1,000, up to 2,000 seater if you structure it. So, yeah, that your options are limited in Chicago when it comes to that size. So,
boy, if they do LA, but not like a whole tour throughout, I will probably make LA. I've been to LA a few times, although the last time LA, my trip back cost me half a day.
Yes, it did. Was I right on Twitter? Was I right? Yeah, that was I did recall that.
Yeah, my 6-hour no navigation working in the airplane caused me to miss an afternoon.
Wasn't that like really early days of the big promotions just starting to run again? Like, wasn't that New Japan's first show back?
Yeah, it was New Japan's first show back. Impact had been running Skyway a few times previously, because you're talking post Slammiversary.
Was it after Slam? Okay.
Yeah, Slammiversary was that first one, and this was TV. What was it, the second or third go around on TV? But it was, so after that, I'm like, oh, no more like. But there was a lot of Impact, Moose, and all at that show. So I'm like,
that Moose match.
Yeah, it was a great show. Good Brothers.
Yeah, it was a good show. Oh yeah, God came out during that show.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So you had a lot of good stuff going on there. Yeah. So I'm like, and I never been to the Coliseum out there.
That was a great venue.
So I'm like, I could squeeze this in. Like, for some reason, flying to Nashville and LA isn't crazy at the time. It wasn't crazy. It was like it was doable. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. But after that, I'm like, I'll probably even though I was supposed to get in well ahead of time that day. I was supposed to have still 5 hours before showtime. I'll never get it that close again. Just the risk. But it's rare. I doubt Impact will ever have a double dip again, an afternoon and an evening taping again anytime in the near future. So
why? Because of attendance?
Well, just because that was just due to that schedule. Like, if they had to go to Impact down, if they went to a old Impact Zone or during the Panini days, that it just makes sense. You do a double dip of tapings just to get more filmed in the can. That's not their schedule right now. Could they go back to that? Maybe like to cover holidays, maybe at some point, but doesn't seem like any time in the near future. But so yeah, all the current Impact looking good. And then hey, if anyone's in the Jersey area, Sunday, Jersey Championship Wrestling in Ridgefield Park, I'll be at.
All right, there you go. That's Bill. And then give me your socials, Bill, just in case you.
Oh, yes. Mainly the Twitter. My name, William M. Gardner.
There you go. Get them on there, guys. Mark?
You can find me in the Discord, which you can find the link for in the description or on our link tree or on any of our socials. Discord is where this show continues. So if you like hanging out, community, talking about wrestling, other stuff, whatever, just having a place to come hang out and unwind, join us in the Discord. Most of the people you see in chat are already there. We have a lot of fun over there. You can also find me at the motherfucking Funk Boutique. Trent, where can they find you?
Funk Boutique. and the show Twitter at We Talk Impact. That's,
yes, you can find me at the show.
And then Mark also is behind the Patreon. So patreon.com/We Talk Impact. So anything.
Not a lot of interaction there, but if you do comment or interact on the Patreon, it is me on the other end.
Yeah. So if there's anything on there that needs addressing, something missing, just you could put it there and let Mark know he can handle that. Guys, we're on PWTs, ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Also Spreadshirt. Just go to Spreadshirt.com/ type in Total Nonstop Impact. We come up in the search. Oh, the direct link is in the description below. So is the Discord. Get on the Discord. It's a blast to go on the Discord. So check that out. You can find me Pasta Mania right there. You can find me at Transberry on Twitter, the show at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. We're on it. All audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. Give us a rating, give us a review, and give us a subscription. Like this video on YouTube. Hit the like button right now before you leave. Sub on YouTube, Twitch if you're still watching, twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact. Make sure you hit a sub on there too. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for hanging against all odds. Solid show. Definitely thanks to J-Bone for setting it all up and us all coming in later intervals in the review.
Hey, we got 4 of us in here, man.
We did. It loaded up. So
yeah,
stay tuned. More shows coming up. TNI UK was on earlier today. Their show is floating online, so give them a listen from earlier today. And then tomorrow is the flagship show, Impact and Access TV. So join the team for that. All right. We're out of here, everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe. Week's almost over. It's a short week, so enjoy your short week, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.